in Great Bend. It's another hot Friday night as the Buhler Crusaders get set to take on the Great Bend Panthers. Welcome inside the Midway Motors Drive to the game. Aaron West alongside Chris Schenk and Carson Moeller for tonight's broadcast. Buhler starts the season 0-2 for the first time since 2005. First time ever under head coach Steve Warner, and they have not been 0-3 in a season. Have to go all the way back to 2000 under head coach Roger Robin. Last week, a nail-biter 38-35 on the road at Circle. First time ever the T-Birds have beaten the Crusaders. Buhler led 13-0 early, outscored by Circle 26-10 in the second quarter. Jeffrey Neal, 2 of 3 on field goal attempts. He missed a 44-yarder to tie the game late in the fourth quarter. And Crusaders fall 38-35. Buhler dominated the time of possession, almost double in that game, and they had quite a few more plays, 76-51 than Circle did, but the T-Birds put up 456 yards of offense, 322 of that in the air, and boy, that has been really kind of the sore spot in this Crusader lineup to start the year. Is look at the touchdowns. I think Circle had 7, was it, on Friday night? To go back and look at that. But I'll take that a step further. Of the 11 touchdowns they've allowed so far this year, 10 of them have come outside the 20-yard line. So those big plays have been the big issue here early in the season.
Yeah, big plays are always tough to overcome, and it's kind of been the double-edged sword for Buhler this year, where we've struggled on letting the big plays score against us. Buhler hasn't had a lot of big plays ourselves, especially in the ground game. But, yeah, the big play threat, it's one of those things that takes all 11 guys executing for a good defense to work. So hopefully this last week in practice they're able to get some more reps and try to continue gelling that defense.
Yeah, Moles, we talked a lot about the youth 4 sophomores with starting or significant minutes in the defense. You think back to when you were a sophomore and probably not ready to strap it on and go varsity right away, but have a feeling these young guys, there's some talent there. By midpoint second half of the year, I look forward to seeing how much they've grown.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we've seen looks from these guys in other sports when they were freshmen. We saw Mitchell McDaniel up at the varsity level on baseball. So we know they're talented. We know they're really good, smart, athletic players. Football takes some time to getting used to. There's guys that have been playing this for 3 years maybe at their prospective school, and they have a feel for how to run their routes Friday nights. And so it just takes a lot of practice. It takes the older guys stepping up. They got to go good on good during practices, which I know they are, and they got to watch a lot of film.
One of those sophomores was our player of the game last week. You look at the numbers on Will Hanen, sophomore linebacker. Pretty impressive. 15 tackles, 2 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 INT. Christopher, that's not a bad night for a young man.
That's a huge stat line for him. You know, he's tied for the lead for the most tackles on the entire team. And you talk about big plays. One of the biggest plays in last week's game was the forced fumble that then led to the touchdown. And so, I mean, Hanen's a kid that when he gets to the guy, I mean, he delivers big blows. And, he's only, and you talked about it, Carson, all these sophomores that are playing so much so soon, they are only going to be going upward as they gain more experience and confidence.
Yeah, another sophomore, Chase Gentry, returned that fumble for a touchdown for the Crusaders offensively. Boy, I can never remember a time in 17 seasons where a Coach Warner team has been -5 through 2 games in turnovers. But 8 takeaways, 7 INTs to start the season. Boy, if you want to know right away, okay, where do we need to improve? You got to take care of the football.
Yeah, turnovers kill, and unfortunately, last week some of those turnovers led to points directly, and typically they do. So, I mean, one of the best ways for Buhler to improve tonight, and be successful is, limiting those turnovers and trying to work that -5 back to the 500 mark, which if we could do that tonight, that'd be fantastic in one game, but, that'd be a tall order.
Yeah, and Carson, I know some of it is some changes in the offensive line. Fortunately tonight, the same 5-6 guys going to be lined up last week, and so they should be that much better. But if you're in that huddle talking to your quarterback, what do you say to Jeffrey Neal to kind of help him put the first 2 weeks out of his mind turnover-wise and get him ready to play tonight?
Well, we've seen Jeffrey a lot on the baseball field, and he's a pitcher. So right then you go to pitching mentality, and hey, you got to be next pitch or next play. You got to be able to move on. You have the talent. You're here for a reason. We've put you here. We trust in you as a coaching staff. We trust you as an offense. The guys in the huddle trust you. You got to trust yourself and make good decisions, and we know you can do that. And he's been able to use that to improve. And it'll take some time. It'll take some mistakes, but he's got to be able to be short-term memory, continue to be a leader that he is, and rally this offense around him and make the plays that he needs to make.
Some of that, Christopher, you and I talked about, very uncharacteristic of a Coach Warner team, and you know, he would be the first to tell you, one of his favorite phrases is long, sustained drives. Loves that style of power football, but 76 plays last week, 41 of them were throws, and I know his offensive game plan is never to throw that much.
Yeah, I think, and this sometimes happens in a game, if your opponent is having success through the air, you sometimes really start feeling like you got to throw it more than you necessarily want to, and that's something that tonight, if Buhler can have those long, sustained drives, that's going to do one of two things, actually. It'll help, develop some confidence in our run game. And then secondly, the best way to improve your defense is by running the football actually on offense, because you burn clock, gives your defense a chance to rest. And so, one thing that I'm looking for, Gavin's longest run of the season so far, it's 20 yards. Having some of those big run plays happen, and we've got enough team speed that if these guys can get to the open field, they can break a long one. And I tell you, when Gavin breaks his first long one of the year, that's going to open up so many things for him and in this entire offense.
Absolutely. A downward trend through 2 games in the running game. Last year, through 12 games, they averaged 235 yards, 6.5 yards a carry. 2 games this year, just 127 yards and 3.5 yards a carry. We'll see if they can step that up tonight. Of course, that offensive line has been shifted around, but same 5 up there for the second week in a row. And just an injury update on Bodie Redenbaugh. Our injury report here in the pregame, brought to you by the Summit. Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation Sports Performance. Schedule your free consultation at summitks.com. Together for exceptional health care. Bodie Redenbaugh did have surgery on that knee, and he is out for the rest of the season. He'll get ready for his junior year next year, and we expect great things from him the next 2 seasons. But tough the rest of the way without your big tackle. And so some switching on the offensive line is Blake Hageman moves from the quick side to the big side alongside Brian Regier. Ty and Goins will stay at center, and then Ryland Parks and Keaton Parsons figuring in on the quick side. Peter and Great Bend tonight. The Panthers also 0-2, riding a 19-game losing streak. You have to go all the way back to November of 2019, last time the Panthers won a game. And so definitely a lot on the line tonight. More of our Midway Motors drive to the game coming up. Here from Great Bend, you're listening to Crusader Football on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Drive to the game coming up. Next, we'll relive this day in Crusader history. And Coach Coles breaks down tonight's opponent in Armored Up. Buhler Crusader Football on 95.9 HKFM.
Neufeld Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
Erickson Custom Building has a great plan and a budget suited for your needs. Whether it's a new build, a remodel of a kitchen, interior, exterior, or an insurance restoration project, Erickson Custom Building provides quality craftsmanship and superior customer service. We stand behind our work and have lasting relationships with vendors, suppliers, and most importantly, with you, the customer. Erickson Custom Building, proud to support all high school activities. Call 620-585-2816 or visit EricksonCustomBLDG.com.
Need a winning rate? I'm Ashley McClure, owner of IVP Benefits Consulting Group, a local insurance agency. I know what it's like to work hard to win. We'll work hard to find you winning rates for all of your healthcare needs. Call us at 620-904-7010.
Are you considering putting up a fence, building a garage, adding on to your home, or purchasing ground? For all your surveying needs, contact Alpha Land Surveys in Hutchinson at 620-728-0012. or go to alphalandsurveys.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back here on our Midway Motors Drive to the game tonight's This Day in Crusader History. We'll take you back to September the 16th of 1998 in a 1988. Let me get my numbers correct there. A 55-0 win at Andover. Steve Ashcraft had 7 PATs in that game. That was a career most at the time. The record now is Jeffrey with 10. 49 PATs all the time for Ashcraft, his 4th most in school history, and that Chuck Porter team finished 8-2 and won the CKL. So that's not a bad year, and let's get things going in the right direction tonight, huh?
Yes, tonight is all about new beginnings and wiping those previous games from your memory and getting out there and giving it a go tonight.
The Great Bend out of the WAC mentioned 0-2. They lost their league opener last week to Hayes. Tough win, 33-7. Their defense has given up 77 points in the first 2 games and riding that 19-game losing streak. Boy, anytime you have that factor, there is an art to learning how to win again.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, unfortunately for Buhler, with us being 0-2 right now, Great Bend has this game circled as one of the games that they can win. But programs that have lost that many in a row, it starts becoming really a mental block where, holy cow, can we ever do things right? Or just it seems like things go against you. And so what Buhler's feeling in a tiny microcosm, being frustrated being 0-2, can you imagine if we were 0-19 in our last 20 games?
0-9 last year, outscored 315-105. A young defense, and they've made some personnel changes there to try and fix some of that tonight. 50-50 run pass. Their quarterback will run quite a bit, Sharman. And then Carson really likes to throw underneath. Their receivers, if you look at their stats, have a lot of yards after catch. So what do our D-backs and our linebackers have to do to limit those yak yards?
Yeah, they got to be able to break down and make tackles, okay? Keeping the receiver in front of you and flying to the football. When teams look at film at Sundays and they see how many guys are around the rock, Buhler calls it a piece of the rock. Get a piece of the rock. So you want to see when the tackle is made, how many guys can be there. And that's something the Black Knights pride themselves on. They got to be able to do the simple things, wrap up, run through, make a tackle.
I know that Mike linebacker Braden Gentry, his job is to keep an eye on the quarterback tonight. Sharman will take off. They run some designed quarterback draws, so really got to watch for that too.
Yeah, Sharman's a guy that he's done a little bit more, or a lot more damage on the ground than the quarterbacks that we've seen the first 2 weeks. So it's going to be definitely, they call it spying the quarterback. Gentry's going to have to keep his eye on him and make sure that he doesn't get out of the pocket without getting brought down.
Well, Great Bend losses to open the year to McPherson and Hayes. They'll be on the road in Wichita Southeast next week. Buhler, of course, Andover Central and Circle. We've got Winfield at home next Friday, but let's take care of business tonight and see if this Crusader team can get off the schneid against the Great Bend Panthers. More of our Midway Motors Drive to the game coming up a little bit later on. We'll hear from Coach. We'll get tonight's steamy field conditions down to the field with Carson. And next, we'll get armored up as Coach Jason Coles talks about defense and breaks down the Panthers with us. That's coming up. The Midway Motors Drive to the game on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Motors Drive to the game continues after this. Stay tuned for tonight's kickoff conditions. And Aaron West sits down for a pregame chat with head coach Steve Warner. 95.9 HKFM. The Buhler Crusaders play here.
As your community bank, Prairie Bank of Kansas is always looking for ways to make banking more convenient, like e-statements. Eliminate the need to file your monthly statements. Now you can be notified the moment your statement is available and easily access it online. Sign up for e-statements online at prairiebankks.com or visit one of our locations in Stafford, Buhler, Inman, or Hutchinson. Prairie Bank of Kansas. How banking should be.
Hi, this is James with IdeaTech. We love bringing internet freedom to the residents and businesses of Buhler. IdeaTech is a proud supporter and the preferred internet provider of the Buhler Crusaders. As the Crusaders know, speed wins. We back up our lightning-fast internet with a customer-first philosophy. That means you will talk to a live person from our office in Buhler when you call in. If you're not already a customer, go to ideatech.com and click on Check Availability. Or you can call us at 620-543-5000 to inquire more about our services.
Hi, this is Randy Gotti with the Buhler Booster Club. Please consider membership in our Booster Club to support all students at Buhler High School. Follow the Buhler Booster Club and the Buhler Crusader Closet on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date with new arrivals and activity schedules.
At Dick's Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Well, back on our Midway Motors drive to the game. Time to get armored up as we break down the Great Bend Panthers. Coach, let's talk about your young defense. You and I were just talking about the fact that you have those 4 sophomore starters, which is kind of uncharted territory for this team. But I love watching those kids compete, and I know that they're working hard to get better and better. So.
Oh, without a doubt. You know, we've started a sophomore here and there in the past, but we've always been able to surround them with, you know, upperclassmen who have had a year or two under their belt. So this year it's a little bit different with, well, we knew going in we were going to have at least 9 new starters, and you know, a lot of them being sophomores and a couple others, you know, working in new. Last week was their first game this season. To start and to get significant time. So, you know, there's some rough spots to it because of the inexperience and just what that brings with it. But the positive part is they're getting better every snap and getting better every day. And, you know, take Will Hanen, you know, he was better second half of week 1. He was a better linebacker this last week, made a lot of big plays. And by the end of week 2, you know, going into week 3, he's not. I would say he's not a sophomore football player anymore. He's a football player, and you can take that sophomore off the front. And we're seeing our other sophomores just continue to develop that way.
Mm-hmm. Great Bend shotgun team, pretty balanced so far this year. You've got a running quarterback this week, so that'll be something to adjust to.
Yeah, I think they're right at like 49% run, 50% pass, and a little bit of that is because they've been behind in some games, so they've aired the ball out a little bit more, but. Quarterback likes to run the ball. They'll run a quarterback counter, a quarterback power. They like to run draw, you know, empty the backfield and run draw. So, yeah, that's definitely a challenge for us. And we put some different things in to deal with that and try to give the kids some more tools, you know, in their toolbox to have on the field with them and, you know, kind of enhance their skills and enhance their strengths that we're finding as we progress and you know, kind of shut down the things that they want to do across the line.
I have no doubt that they're going to try and take some shots downfield just based on what they've seen on film, but they like to do a lot of short stuff, a lot of yards after the catch, it seems like.
Yeah, you know, probably their most, you know, electrifying player is, you know, their receiver number 7. He's a small kid, kind of a scat back type, but they like to get him the ball out in space, and let him make some moves. He's got nice wiggle. So we're gonna have to tackle, which I thought we improved on significantly, and we're still working on, and something that we really stressed across the board on defense this week was our tackling, and worked on it a lot. And then run into the ball. That was something I thought we did really well last week. You know, the effort to get to the ball was significant and was something that we can always build on that. If we're running to the ball, then we can build on things, and that's going to be key this week with both their runs out of the backfield with the quarterback and number 16, and then also the receivers.
All right, Coach, well, let's go get a win tonight. Best of luck on the field.
Thanks. That's definitely the plan.
That's our Armored Up segment ready to go tonight. More of our pregame coming up right after this.
Much like going to the doctor for a physical, we can perform a physical on your vehicle. Hi, this is Steve. Welcome to the full-service experience of Red Rock Auto Center. Allow us to do a complete physical on your vehicle to ensure its complete dependability. Whether preparing for holiday travel, batteries, or brakes, we are your locally owned, family-owned, full-service repair facility. Visit us today in South Hutchinson or go to redrockautocenter.com. Red Rock Auto Center. We're here when you need us.
The right price for the right protection? It exists. Hi, I'm Andrew Parr, your Allstate agent in Hutchinson, and I can help you get the right protection for the right price. Contact me for a free quote. Call me today or stop by my office in Midtown Hutchinson at 13th and Main. Are you in good hands?
Hi, this is Kathy from Midwest Iron inviting you to help the environment and put a little cash in your pocket by bringing us your recyclable metals to 700 South Main and Hatch. Have questions? Give us a call at 620-662-0551. Midwest Iron, recycling for tomorrow's environment.
If you're looking for a late starting college class, Hutchinson Community College may have what you need. It's not too late to get enrolled. We have classes starting throughout the semester. Call 620-665-3535 or email myfuture@hutchcc.edu today.
Are you tired of your dusty or muddy driveway? APAC Kansas Shears Division is here to help. This is Derek Fees. Call us and ask us about our asphalt millings. If you are a do-it-yourselfer, arrange for pickup or delivery at your convenience. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Welcome back on our Midway Motors drive to the game here from Great Bend tonight. A lot of other action around the state and on the Ad Astra Sports Network. In the league, El Dorado is at Andale, Andover Central at Arkansas City, Mulvane at Augusta, Circle at Winfield, Clearwater at Rose Hill, and Collegiate is at Wellington. Games across the network will be following for you, and our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard tonight include Hoisington at Lions, Larned at Smoky Valley. Very interested to see how McPherson and Junction do as Mackay takes on a 6A Junction team in Junction City tonight. Trinity Catholic at Marion, Heston at Hillsboro, Independent at Mount Ridge, Sterling at Sedgwick. Got to be a good game as well. You can find schedules and a streaming of tonight's game online at adastraradio.com or on the Ad Astra Radio app. Powered by Nextech Wireless. Shop the latest phones and devices at the best prices. We talked about the heat down there on the field. Our kickoff conditions brought to you by Newfelt's Flooring, featuring one-of-a-kind flooring and accessories to pull your project together. Newfelt's Flooring, a few miles out of the city and light years out of the ordinary. And I guess, Moles, when is it going to cool off? Certainly not probably tonight.
Yeah, definitely not tonight. It's still 85 degrees down here. Not much of a breeze, just enough to pick the flags up. Sun is just about over the tall bleachers over on the home side, so shouldn't pose much of a threat to receivers looking in to catch passes as we move later after kickoff.
All right, hopefully we'll get that sundown behind the west stands here sooner rather than later. 4A rankings. No surprise, Miege finds themselves at number 1, 2-0. They are at St. James Academy. St. James, by the way, was the state champion of a year ago, beat Andover Central in that title game. Aquinas, number 2. Then St. James 3, McPherson 4, Chanute 5 in the rankings. Boy, look at 3 of those 5, Christopher. This week, Acacia proved their multiplier factor. Now it goes to the state level, I believe. They have to make some changes to the state laws to be able to move some things around.
Yeah, the Kansas State Department, the Kansas State Board of Education had to vote, and it passed that today or this week, and so that's going to enable them now to take the legislation to the State House, and the Kansas State Legislature has to make a one-sentence alteration that classifications can be based on more than just student numbers.
Yeah, it's a governance that says they have to be based on numbers.
Yes, and so, but the nice thing is it keeps moving through hurdles, which the good thing is it won't help out the kids in high school right now, but maybe eventually the private schools, especially the ones in the Kansas City area, will get moved up a classification, and we will be rid of them in our beloved 4A.
Well, and I know there's mixed feelings about that, and it will not, the smaller privates like the Central Christians of the world are not going to move up more than likely.
The thing I feel like that is very equitable about the plan is success will be kind of tied into it. They'll have factors too about population. So yeah, the Trinity Catholics of the world and the Central Christians and the Berean Academies and Elyria Christian, kind of the private schools in Central Kansas, they're not going to be affected. But the big giant schools in the metro areas that pull from a huge area will be the ones finally kind of getting classified, in my opinion, correctly.
Moles wants another shot at Bishop Miege. He's ready. Suited up. Look at him.
Yeah, let's go. I want to play again. Come on.
All right, just about 9 minutes away from kickoff here tonight, and boy, that sun slowly moving down. It'll feel fantastic once it does. Coming up, Coach Warner will stop by for his pregame thoughts, and Christopher will get our keys to the game. We'll lay out what it's going to take to get a Crusader W here tonight. More of our Midway Motors Drive to the Game after this on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Hey, it's Gabe at Midway Motors, inviting you in for our fall tire event. Right now, Midway is selling all tires at $1 over cost. That's right, $1 over cost. Check out this great special and schedule today at midwaymotors.com.
At Dick's Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Cupcakes, cookies, cake, oh my! Holly here with Holly Sweet Treats. Come down to my shop at 205 South Main in Hutchinson for sweet treats and fun last-minute gifts. We also offer daily lunch specials, sandwiches, salads, and fresh baked bread. Follow us on social media or call us at 888-YUM.
And welcome back on our Midway Motors Drive to the Game here from Great Bend. It's been a long time since Buhler and Great Bend have played, all the way back to 2003. Coach Steve Warner joins us now for his pregame thoughts. Coach, a program that you were familiar with in your time at Liberal. They've been on some downtimes recently, but I think a hungry program, just like your kids are. I think that sets up for a pretty good ball game tonight.
I think it's going to be a good game. Two teams fighting for the first win. Watching them on film, they remind me a lot of us. They're playing hard, they're aggressive, and they're a little smaller, just like we are. I think it's going to be a dogfight. We're going to have to take care of the football and not allow so many big plays.
Absolutely. What are some of the things that you've really been working with the kids this week on, in practice to try and take that?
At this time, please stand if you are able. Remove your hats and place your hand over your heart and join the Panther Flag Marching Band under the direction of Mr. Grant Matthews as we honor America and all of our veterans and military personnel serving around the world with the national anthem.
right there from now, and then, yeah, whenever.
Captains go out, zoom in.
Yeah.
Common sense.
I don't know why I'm telling you, he did it great last time, so. Good luck tonight, have fun, and yeah, if anything happens, I'll be like around here, so.
Go chill out for the first time in years.
First time in 3 years. Yeah. It's weird that I get to sit down tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, your captains for this evening for the Buhler Crusaders, Jeffrey Neal, Matthew Eddy, Gavin Patton, and Brian Regier. For the Panthers, Jake Sharman, Matthew Mayer, Matthew Johnson, and Daniel Nieto. Head coaches for this evening for the Crusaders, Steve Warner, and for the Panthers, Aaron Beck.
Almost great.
All right, Crusaders the toss, and they will convert in the second half.
Buhler's won the toss. The first choice in the second half.
Victory key tonight.
Great
Separation early. You know, they have a winning game here. Great been over 1,000 days back in November 19. So you want to make sure that you try to kind of establish that, hey, we're a better team right off the get-go. Number 2, establishing they've been giving up over 200 yards a game here. Has yet to rush for over 200 yards a game this year. So hopefully tonight, the Crusaders can do that. Gavin Patton's bonus, as I mentioned earlier, it's just 20 yards. Hopefully Gavin can break a big one tonight. And then most importantly tonight, winning the turnover battle. Uncharacteristic. -5 on the season. So hopefully Buhler can start working that way. Back to being even team with fewest turnovers.
Back deep for the Panthers, Braylon Council and Cody Miller. Kickoff is recovered by number 19, Cameron Studi. First down, Panthers.
Gavin Patton up front. Linebackers will handle secondary. Pegame, Jeremy Titchery.
Buhler. Crusader tacklers include Jeremy Gentry and Austin Savoy.
Sets up a second down and short for the Receivers went out of the left rather to Minnesota formation. Sherman in the gun, just underway. 2nd and 2, first drive of the game. Snap taken by Sherman. To the outstretched
Luckily that ball was coming a little high, so he wasn't able to pull it in. And he unwisely tipped the ball up into the air as a receiver.
at the snap of the football. First stoppage of the game, potentially bring it back 5 yards. Looks like they're looking for the right man's hands. So still not for something on the field with Sherman out of the gun. Receivers to the right. Brings out the snap count. Council comes in. Gets away from the
That's a ball carry. Receiver Sherman. And another one was number 45. Bill Hayden.
First down.
First down, Panthers.
.06 to go in the first and no score. Great Bend comes to the line here. Receivers left to right.
Pass complete to number 7, Braylon Council. Pressure on the plate for Buhler is made by Mitchell McDaniel. And Will Hayden. First down, Panthers.
They can stop and just miss the tackle and pick up Ravens knock on the red zone.
Pass play to Council. Sherman is 1 for 2. First and 10 to 26 of Buhler.
That's a ball carrier, Cody Miller. Back on the plate to Buhler, made by Alex Eby. Second down, 2, Panthers.
He runs tall, but has had success so far.
He has. He's been really a north-south runner that time for Alex Lee making a tackle.
Great Bend is now officially in the Buhler red zone. Stop Sherman in the gun with 2 backs, 2 receivers to the left. Snap count here by Sherman. Defense staying still. High snap again.
Cody Miller with the ball carrier.
That's wrong.
Pulling back to the video by Matt Moretti. The help from number 35, Chase Henderson.
Yeah, Chase Henderson got good penetration that time. First and close.
We got Great Bend's second, third down on this. Sooners third down and 3. They're in 4-down territory from here. Panthers taking their time. Still in the huddle. Now they break. Not sure what should do. To outside. The throw is immediately, and it's going to be close. So enough for the first down at the 15.
Pregame Council.
Get that football and it's brought down by
Tackle on the first of Buhler is made by Luca Gotti.
Stop that time. A lot more physical play.
The shot of Pregame Council. Completion is good enough for the Panther.
Unfortunately, he was just behind the line.
Test. At McPherson, just one touchdown to show for their efforts last week. Driving here in the first and 10 at the 15 at the left hash mark. To the right.
Initial going to throw for Buhler is made by Luca Gotti.
Nice job.
It's all about just defensively staying flying the football. Already out to the side. Second and 8. Set by wide receivers. Good job by the linebacker on the outside, and that headed to the hand. It's third down.
Great situation now for Buhler. Eddie, great hands. He got up.
Headed on the play for Buhler is made by number 17, Jeremy Gentry.
Four down territory.
Boy, Jeremy Gentry's eyes got big there. He was in the area, but that ball was tipped just to him before he returned. He had an interception last week, he and Hanen both. Third down and 8 at the 13. Big down here for the Panthers from the left hash mark. And Sharp in the gun. Going to put receiver in motion. And the sweep across the formation. Now trips left. Sharp on the right side.
Pass intended for Pregame Council. Setting on the play for Buhler is made by number 21, Mitchell McDaniel.
Looks like maybe a change here. They might be going for a field goal.
Oregon lining for the field goal. Nice coverage that time on the last down by Jeremy Gentry.
On the try to field goal for the Panthers, Alex Galindo.
Alex Galindo will hold. He's not made one yet this year. This is his first attempt. Officials will play dead. Line is run is the 20, so this will be a 30-yard field goal. They're sending Galindo back to the sideline.
So that's the second equipment malfunction Great Bend has had. The first whistle was for knee pads. The second one, the kicker, had his mouthpiece still up in his helmet. And it looks like the official sent it off.
So now what do? You have to go for it on first down. It should be a 5-yard.
Pass intended for Pregame Council.
Tight end, the offensive line. Parks, Second down and 5 after a gain of 5 to the 18-yard line. And it is a quarterback check-down Wildcats. Correct snap to Matt Eddy.
Buhler ball carrier, Matthew Eddy. Panther tacklers include Noah Yerke and Daniel Nieto.
In this game, the defense held tough, kept Great Bend off.
It's a gain of 10 yards on the play for Gentry. 1st and 10. Buhler driving here near midfield out of the I formation. 2 receivers right side. Here's Gavin Patton. Off his right side tackle. Bounces off Blake Hageman and comes forward for a few yards to the 39-yard line. And that'll be a gain of 5 on first down. Boy, we'll take 5 yards all night long.
I was about to say that, Aaron. You took the words right out of my mouth. Anytime Buhler can gain 5 yards on first down, that just keeps the offense on schedule down and distance-wise.
2nd down and 5, clock running, 5:52 to play in the first, no score. Great Bend drove all the way down the field in their first series and went for it on 4th down and couldn't convert. They put to tight end in motion. Now handoff, big hole up the middle for Matt Eddy across midfield. Puts the shoulder down and gets forward progress to the Great Bend 46-yard line. Buhler moves the sticks yet again.
Anytime's Eddy time. That time Buhler had Eddy lined up in the backfield right to the left of Neal. Jeffrey made the handoff, and Eddy just takes it forward across midfield for the first down and then some.
Longest run of the year for Matt Eddy at 15 yards into Panther territory here in this very warm Friday night, week 3 of the season. 1st and 10, middle of the field, Buhler left to right, Neal under center out of the I formation, fakes the handoff to the fullback, now being chased, and Jeffrey Neal. Great Bend had the blitz on that time, and Jeffrey Neal had nowhere to go at the 50-yard line, and he'll lose 4 yards.
And just from reading body language that time, I think it was a bit of a busted play as Neal faked to the fullback and then turned around, and there wasn't anybody there, so I think maybe there was a little bit of confusion there as Buhler goes back behind the 50.
Yeah, by the time he turned around and started to take off, Great Bend had a host of players in the backfield. 2nd down and 14. They stack 2 wings to the right side, including the quarterback. Another Wildcat play. It's Matt Eddy again on a straightforward carry across the 45 to the 42-yard line. So this is now twice, Christopher, on this series where they've actually lined up the quarterback, Jeff Neal, at a running back and snapped it directly to Matt Eddy.
Yeah, any way you can get the ball into Eddy's hands, it's usually pays some dividends, and so Buhler now with a big 3rd down conversion here. Hopefully Buhler can pick it up.
Picks up 7 to the 43. It'll be 3rd down and 7. 4:04 to play in the quarter. Jeff to throw. Wants receiver to the far side, and receiver had it and then lost it. Rogers, and I think Rogers had it ripped out of his hands.
Yeah, I couldn't quite see because I started looking at the sun there, but ball was delivered right to Rogers, and either he had it momentarily and had it ripped away, or Rogers tipped it into the Great Bend defender's hands. So unfortunately, Buhler's drive that had a lot of promise to begin the game ends with the turnover.
I don't know what you saw, Moles. It looked like, at least for a moment, he had that football.
Yeah, it was definitely 2 guys going after the same ball, getting there at the same time, and Great Bend came away with it. He just ripped it right out of Rogers' hands.
So Panthers have it back. That's one thing that is not the quarterback's fault, even though it's going to go against his record.
Exactly.
3:59 here to play in the first. Panthers from their own 31, and they'll put the ground game to work. Here is the tailback bouncing to the outside. That is Cody Miller. Gets all the way to midfield before he's brought down. Cody Miller with a nice first down run from his own 31 into Buhler territory at the 49-yard line.
Well, now what Buhler's got to do, they did a good job on the last series of bending but not breaking. They've just got to continue doing that. You know, Great Bend's doing a nice job of mixing the run and the pass, so every single down you got to take both threats seriously.
Gain of 20 yards. Boy, turnovers just continue to haunt the Crusaders. 1st and 10 at the Buhler 49. Charbon out of the gun. 2 receivers left and 2 right. Miller's had a good first quarter running the football behind him. And they'll give it to Cody again, this time ankle tackle just past the line of scrimmage.
Will Haanen with the tackle there. Great job by the sophomore in position to make the stop.
And boy, Miller almost at 6 foot tall. The problem is when he falls down, he still gains 3 yards.
Yeah, he's got a little length to him.
3 yards forward to the 46. It'll be second down from there. Great Bend going right to left on this series. They drove the ball all the way down to the Buhler 13-yard line on their last drive. And they had their kicker on the field for a field goal on 4th down. He was sent off the field due to an equipment malfunction. They went for it on 4th down and came up short. 2nd and 7 here with the clock running and no score. 2:42 to go in the first. And now we have multiple flags coming out of the field as Great Bend had a receiver in motion.
It's going to be an illegal procedures false start on Great Bend, so thankfully that'll move them back behind their original line of scrimmage.
Back behind the 50 to the 49. So first penalty that's been called tonight on either team goes against Great Bend. Buhler comes into the game averaging through 2 games 5.5 penalties. Their opponents a little bit better than that at 13.5. That's a lot. 3 receivers now stacked to the left side. Sharman out of the gun wants to throw one-on-one to Council to the right, and it's a big catch by Council, who stumbles inside the 10-yard line. Coverage on the play by Mitchell McDaniel, and Great Bend is back in the red zone, 1st and 10.
Yeah, Great Bend that time went with a stack formation here on the near side with 3 receivers to the left. That way they could get an isolation situation over on the far side. So Braylon Council was one-on-one with McDaniel, and he's an experienced receiver. He went up and got it and ripped it away, and Great Bend now knocking inside the red zone with the ball at the 8.
That is 43 yards on the play, down to the 8-yard line on that pass far side to Council. 1st and goal at the 8, 2:07 to go here in the opening quarter of play. Sharman on a draw play to the left, hit by Matt Eddy at the 5-yard line. He'll be stopped there for a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Nice job by Eddy fighting off his block to come up and stop him after about a 3-yard gain. So Great Bend now with 3 more cracks to try to cross that goal line.
2nd and goal, clock running. Late first quarter with no score, 1:42 to play. 2 0-2 teams. Great Bend comes in riding a 19-game losing streak. Buhler has not been 0-3, as we talked about in the pregame, since 2000. 2nd and goal at the 5. Panthers with 15 to the play clock here to the line of scrimmage. 2 backs along with Sharman to the backfield. 2 receivers split out to the far side. It's Miller with an inside handoff, and the tailback goes nowhere. No gain. 3rd and goal now at the 5-yard line.
Great penetration that time by Alex Lee coming up from the DN spot to stop him for no gain. So now 3rd down. Buhler, the Black Knight defense, has got to hold for at least 1 more, and Great Bend might go for it, or they be in a chip shot field goal range.
Well, they were going to attempt a field goal on that last series, and a play that I've never seen before, where they sent the kicker back to the sideline for a equipment malfunction. 3rd and 5, final 46 seconds of the first quarter. 3rd and goal at the 5. Sharman takes the snap with Miller behind him, rolling out to his right, and he finds his big tight end in the end zone for a Great Bend touchdown.
Yeah, unfortunately that time Colton Brock was wide open, and he's a big target, 6'2", 200 pounds. Just a little drag route. He was camped out just beyond the goal line, and some pitch and catch that time as Sharman rolls to his right, and unfortunately Great Bend gets the first score of the evening.
On for the extra point.
So
will be Alex Galindo.
Colton Brock on the catch. 37 seconds to go in the first. Panthers will go for the PAT. Galindo from the 10. The snap is good, hold is good, the kick is good, and the Panthers take an early 7-0 lead. 37 seconds to go in the first. You're listening to Crusader Football from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
Hey fans, this is Rachel Nelson. It's game time and I Need a Cleaners can help you look like a winner. Spend your valuable time prepping for the game, not doing laundry. Keep your knit polos and khaki pants looking great. For the winning look, stop by I Need a Cleaners, 13th and Main in Hutchinson.
Dr. Ediger is very good when a problem arises. We had that happen with our daughter. He went in to do some work and then found another issue and communicated with me and gave me the option, but yet told me what he would do if it were his daughter. daughter. He gives you options that work with your family's budget.
Hi, this is Dr. Corey Ediger, inviting you and your family to call me at 663-9136. That's 663-9136. Or stop by my office on East 30th to make an appointment today at Ediger Family Dental.
Where patients come first.
As your American Family Insurance agent in Hutchinson, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. This is Sheila Metzger, agent at the Sheila Metzger Agency. Call me at 665-0400 and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Insurance.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back here to Memorial Stadium, Great Bend, 6 plays, 74 yards, a 43-yard pass in that series on third down that moved the Panthers into the Buhler red zone. I don't know any better way to put this than we got to find a way to stop turning the football over.
Yeah, turnovers kill, and so hopefully Buhler can collect themselves on offense, march down the field, and tie this bad boy back up.
Here's Galindo with a short kick far side of the 15. It's going to be taken by Matt Eddy. Return across the 30 and up to the 31. That's where Buhler will start. Down a touchdown at their own 31-yard line. 31 seconds to go in quarter number 1. Crusader football tonight. Brought to you in part by the Crusader Roundtable, by Daylight Donuts, Midway Motors, Rod's Tire and Service, and by Newfelt's Flooring. Saw some different offensive looks from Coach Warner in that first series. Couple of Wildcat snaps to Matt Eddy. Traditional I formation here, and it's going to be a handoff to the fullback Gentry. And Great Bend dials that right up, goes nowhere, no gain on the play.
Yeah, that time for Great Bend pouring through was Matthew Mater. He's a linebacker traditionally, but that time they lined him or brought him on a blitz, and he clogged things up.
Braden Gentry coming into the contest had 3 carries, 18 yards on the season, his first tonight. And that moves the football back from the 36 to the 34. And time will expire. We'll come to the end of our first quarter of play. A big first quarter tonight. Quick one. Great Bend with a 7-0 lead. We're back with more coming up from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
Suited for your needs, whether it's a new build, a remodel of a kitchen, interior, exterior, or an insurance restoration project, Erickson Custom Building provides quality craftsmanship and superior customer service. We stand behind our work and have lasting relationships with vendors, suppliers, and most importantly, with you, the customer. Erickson Custom Building, proud to support all high school activities. Call 620-585-2816 or visit EricksonCustomBLDG.com.
Summer is here and we're bringing the heat. At Next Tech Wireless, you can get an iPhone SE 3rd Gen or the Samsung A53 on us. Or if you're looking for a little more, you can also get up to $529 off any other device, including the Samsung S22 Ultra or the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Come visit us at a location near you or call or text at 877-621-2600 for more information. Next Tech Wireless. We are Kansas.
Rod's Tire and Service. Crusader football on HKFM.
Second down and 12. We've got a change at quarterback here as Matt Eddy is in. And actually maybe another Wildcat situation with a snap to Eddy, who goes forward across the 35 to the 36-yard line. He picks up 2 yards, and that sets up 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, Buhler went with a straight T formation that time. Eddy was in the middle. Jeff Neal was to his right. Took the direct snap, faked the read option to the left, and took it up the gut.
Early scores in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. Heston leading Hillsboro tonight 14-0. It's Smoky Valley 8, Larned 0. Those in the first quarter out of the I formation, 3rd down and 10. Now Jeffrey back to pass with some pressure, rolling out to his right, throws over the middle. And Steady Eddy, who very rarely drops the football, had that one in the breadbasket at the 45 and could not hold on. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Yeah, Braylon Council timed it just perfectly. He was coming over from one of the corner spots and just hammered Eddie right as the ball arrived to bat it away.
Boy, we talk about this every week, but in that running offense, you get behind on 1st down. It's just so tough to make that up.
Yeah, they always talk about being on schedule, and you get those 2nd and long, 3rd and longs. It kind of starts limiting what you can call offensively.
So Jeff Neal to punt from his own 25. Punts to the south end zone. It's going to take a roll and going out of bounds far side at about the 21-yard line. Good punt for Jeff Neal. And now this Black Knight defense has got to find a way to limit the passing attack of Great Bend.
And so much of it right now, it's just a one-score game right now. What would do oodles for the Buhler confidence right now is try to force the 3 and out, or possibly even up the turnovers tonight with a turnover of ourselves.
Panthers from their own 21 will be 1st and 10. Buhler coming in, averaging 24 points through 2 games. Opponents 36.5. But almost 270 yards in the passing game through 2 games this defense has given up. Here is Sharman out of the gun with an empty backfield. Finds his tailback with open space up the right side hash mark, 25-30, and down to the 31. That is a gain of 10 on 1st down.
Yeah, it was a screen pass that time, so Will Hainan, one of the linebackers, had to make the play. But anytime you see the D lineman just flying up the field like that time they didn't even block Gentry. That's a great sign that they are running a screen.
Cody Miller, the tailback's done well running and catching tonight. Great Bend will run that screen play. They like a lot of that underneath stuff, and to let their athletes, Miller and Council, who are responsible pretty much for all of their yards in this 1st half, make plays. 1st and 10 at the 31. 2 backs in the set was Sharman, who hands it off. Left side run, forward progress to the 33. It's a gain of 2 for Cody Miller and sets up a critical play here. Now just 2nd down, 2nd and 7 coming up. Jace Henderson making the stop.
Yeah, it was a good job by Henderson along with Gentry making the stop. But, 2nd and long here. So now what Buhler's got to do, just try to put together one stop at a time and try to avoid the big play.
Sharman out of the gun, 2 receivers left, 2 right. Miller behind Sharman. Looks over to the sideline to his coach, Aaron Beck. Aaron Beck had a very successful 3 years to start in this program. Last 3, not so much. 2nd and 7, Sharman to go up one-on-one, and McDaniel gets beat at the 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown. And Mitchell McDaniel beat by a good 3-4 yards on that play.
Yeah, before that play, I was about to say Buhler's going straight man across the way when Great Bend goes with 4 wide. And unfortunately, McDaniel, when you're dealing with a good receiver like Braylon Council, you just got to make sure he cannot get behind you at all costs.
67-yard touchdown pass to Braylon Council puts Great Bend up by 2 scores. 9:39 to go here in the opening half. Galindo on for the extra point. Turnovers and big plays. That has been the recipe for disaster here to start the year. Extra point good. 14-0 from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Tonight in high school football, Central Christian up on Stafford 8-0. Hoyzenden leading Lions 14-0. Sterling up on Sedgwick 6-0. Hillsboro trailing Heston 14-0 early. Mays leading Newton 7-0. Cheney 7, Douglas 0. Kingman beating Wichita Trinity 22-0. Kingman, by the way, had recovered an onside kick on the opening kickoff of the game. There was one high school game last night. Little River beating El Saline 46-14. With a score update, I'm Lucky Kid.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back here from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth, Great Bend to kick off with a 14-0 lead. Braylon Council came in, 6 catches, 100 yards, and well, he's going to surpass what he did in the first 2 games here in the first half tonight. And it is a low line drive kick taken short, far side at the 32, and returned by Bryce Ruda along that far side across the 35 to the 37. I'd say this is a pretty important spot in the game. Buhler's got to find some success on offense.
Yeah, it's one of those things. A 2-score deficit is one thing to overcome. 3 starts getting even more dicey. So Buhler's not in a situation where they have to completely abandon the run at this point. But a good sustained drive that ends with points is going to be really critical here for Buhler.
1st and 10 from their own 37, right to left, far side hash mark, I formation. Jeff takes the snap. Play action, wants to throw near side. Gentry caught at the 45, 50. Bowls over a defender into Great Bend territory. 40-yard line and out of bounds. What a hit by Braden Gentry. Gets all the way down to the 32, make it the 34-yard line.
That's probably the highlight of the game so far tonight, as Gentry just bulldozed Ian Premer, one of the freshman secondary members for Great Bend. And what a big play there by Gentry. That's a good way to get this drive going.
That goes for 29 yards by Gentry on that pass. 1st and 10, Jeff to throw again, and he's going to overthrow Eddie. And a flag comes out that might be pass interference, as Eddie was one-on-one over there on the far side with Skylar McMullen.
I think they're actually going to call defensive holding, which is just a 10-yard penalty versus a 15-yard penalty. So let's see what the officials' formal signal is here.
McMullen was the strong safety over there on the far side against Eddie. And it is holding on the defense. That'll be the second penalty tonight on Great Bend.
Well, we will take every bit of this.
Absolutely.
As the Crusaders have some momentum here, and so far this has been the best drive for Buhler, and we're only a couple plays into it.
That's going to move the ball forward to the 26-yard line. First and 10 after the penalty, 9:09 to go in the half. Out of the I formation, Eddie to the far side, Gilliam to the near. Here is Gavin Patton with an inside handoff, fumbled the football. He's able to fall on it right away. Line of scrimmage was the 26. So they're going to lose a yard to the 27.
Yeah, slight loss there for Buhler. Clock continues to roll, so that's one of the things we were talking about, Aaron, getting off of schedule. So really critical that Buhler gains some positive yardage here to make it a manageable 3rd down.
They're going to go to shotgun on 2nd and 11. Patton to the left of Neal. Gilliam and Eddie to the near side. Single receiver to the far side. Jeff rolling out to his left, wants to throw. And, boy, just overthrew the intended target. And that's unfortunate. He had Will Haanen wide open.
Yeah, Will Haanen was a tight end. He drug across the field and was right near the 1st down line to gain, but the ball just overthrown. And so now it brings up a 3rd down. And Buhler probably in 4-down territory here just because you're so close, or potentially they could try a long field goal. Jeff Neal, I saw him before the game, hit a 55-yarder earlier tonight, so we are definitely in field goal range.
3rd down and 2, 4 wide receivers. Jeff out of the shotgun, Gavin Patton to his right. 3rd down, 11 to go. Screen pass, here is Patton. And Patton breaks out of a tackle at the 20, the 15, inside the 15-yard line for a 1st down to the 14, and a flag comes out at the end of the play. That play was almost blown up, but Gavin was able to pull away from a tackler. Somebody missed a block over there on the far side, and then a flag at the end of the play.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating on screen plays where you let your initial line through, and then the linemen have got to go downfield and block linebackers. The linebacker over there was who was pouring through a couple Buhler O linemen, and I thought they were maybe going to hit Great Bend with a face mask, but unfortunately it's going to be a hold, and so
it's going to come back.
Yeah, all that good that happened on that play is going to be negated with a penalty.
Yeah, and unfortunately a penalty that wasn't necessary.
Yes.
I mean, they'd already had the 1st down when the hold came.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So Buhler unfortunately shot ourselves in the foot, but with it being a repeat 3rd down, Buhler with another opportunity to try to convert this.
So 3rd and 12 now from the 28. Play action. Jeff rolling left. He's going to tuck it and run at the 20. Good block on the edge. 15 and a first down. And a great block there on the outside by Matt Eddy to spring that first down for Jeff Neal. Just like a great block in the field, the pros at H&R Block provide the help you need and the biggest possible refund. Find the tax prep option for you at H&R Block.
And that was just a great read that time by Jeffrey Neal. It was a play-action play. He was rolling to his left, saw plenty of green grass, and tucked the football, ran hard, and picked up the first down.
13-yard run for Jeff, his longest of the season. 1st and 10 at the 14, out of the I formation. Matt Eddy goes in motion. They'll hand it off to Patton, the tailback. Left side run inside the 10. Up the left side hash mark. Forward progress to the 7-yard line.
Well, Buhler has had to overcome some adversity on this drive with overcoming some penalties. This is such a critical drive, and Buhler answering now with the ball knocking just outside the 5-yard line.
7:45 to play in the opening half. 14-0 Great Bend here on the road tonight from Memorial Stadium. Out of the I formation on 2nd and 3. Eddy, one of 2 receivers to the far side. They go with the I formation. Patton bounces off a tackler, slides to the 5-yard line. He'll be brought down there after a gain of 2. And that is going to bring up a 3rd and short.
Yeah, great job by Patton that time. He made contact with the fullback as the hole was kind of clogged and was able to just kind of scuttle his way forward back to the middle. And that was kind of a rotten spot for Buhler. It looked like he got down to the 5.
He did not give him a good spot at all. 3rd down and about a yard and a half. They'll stay in the I. And a quarterback keeper. And I don't know that Jeff got there. Needed almost 2 yards, and they're going to say no gain. Moles, I thought that spot on that previous play was not very generous.
Yeah, definitely not very generous. And then sneak play, just guys getting too high, not being able to fall forward like you mentioned. So going to be a nice 4th down play for here. We'll see what Coach Warner dials up.
Looks like they're going to go for it on 4th down 2 touchdowns midway through this second quarter. Coach not wanting to settle for the field goal. They're going to move Jeff out to a wide receiver and put Matt Eddy under center. Now Great Bend is going to call a timeout here. Another Pile Law timeout with 6:23 to play in the first quarter. On a very muggy night from Great Bend. If you, a friend or family member, have been the victim of an accident, contact Pile Law. At Pile Law, Tom takes the time to evaluate your options. This week in Crusader Sports coming up at halftime tonight. We'll visit with volleyball coach Deidre Emmel. Her squad 7-4 on the year. And boy, that talented group of sophomores really getting it done. We'll talk about elsewhere, a good week for our tennis and soccer teams. Golf had a good week, so a lot of positives to talk about.
Yeah, and it's crazy that we're already halfway through September. I mean, where has this fall season gone, Aaron?
Yeah, I know some of the sports go to regionals in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, some of the sports, it's mid-October and they're in regional.
Yeah. Hey, guys, we saw Cash Carson go in on that last defensive series for Chase Gentry. Chase Gentry got his left ankle taped, walking around a little gingerly, so we'll check on that throughout the game.
Austin Rogers and Matt Eddy, the receivers. Now they put Jeff Neal back under center.
Good luck tomorrow to Our Lady.
Standard I formation on 4th and 2. It's a pitch play to Patton. Gavin's got the first down. It's going to be 1st and goal as he is upended a hard hit at the end of that run near the 3-yard line.
And Buhler went old school Buhler football that time, just ran the simple belly series where they faked to Gentry. Then Neal took it down the line, made a great pitch to Patton, and Patton was able to fight his way forward inside the 5 for the first down. Great play call.
You know, all the things they've struggled with this year, they've had success on 4th down. They're now 6 of 8 on 4th down tries. 1st and goal at the 3, 6:04 to play in the half. And a fake by Neal, and Great Bend answers, dropping the Buhler quarterback back behind the line of scrimmage, back to the 5-yard line. It's going to be a loss of 2 on 1st down.
Yeah, his quarterback counter that time, and Great Bend really stuffing the box, and there wasn't much of a space at all for Jeff Neal to try to make a play.
Yeah, that smaller offensive line of Buhler not able to hold there. Biggest of those guys on the big side, Brian Regier at 215. Now another busted play. Great Bend bringing pressure. And Jeff Neal is driven back all the way to the 8-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal from there. And going the wrong direction 2 plays in a row.
Yeah, Buhler's lost about 5 yards in the last 2 plays combined. So, yeah, you mentioned going the wrong way. This Panther defense really buckling down here. Let's see if Buhler can try to convert.
And Buhler down to 2 scores. Now 5 minutes to go in the half. 3 receivers left, 1 right. Jeff with the fake, the throw. Matt Eddy's got to get into the end zone or it's 4th down. He's going to be stopped at the 2. Matt Eddy crossing to the left hash mark on the catch for 6 yards. But it sets up a 4th and goal at the 2.
Yeah, they ran a quick slant that time, and like you mentioned, the pass was just a little early. Eddie wasn't across the goal line, and he got swallowed up after gaining a few yards. And
Coach is going to take the points here.
Yep, and that would be big just to try to get the shutout off the board, get us going a little bit offensively here before the half.
Field goal attempt by number 8.
Hold is going to be at the 9-yard line. This will be a 20, or make it a 19-yard field goal, and it's blocked. The ball is loose. It's going to be picked up by Great Bend at the goal line. And if it could go wrong in this first 3 games of the year, through 2.5 games, it has. So the blocked field goal, and Great Bend will take over and hold Buhler off the scoreboard. And with Great Bend bringing pressure again, they were in the backfield before Jeff's foot got to the ball.
Yeah, I mean, there was black jerseys all throughout the backfield. And, yeah, that one really didn't have a chance.
Yeah, the only positive that comes out of that is the Crusaders are on defense defending. The ball's at the 1-yard line for the Panthers. So we looked at it last week. They had a great safety opportunity. They have one again. See if the Black Knights can capitalize.
So Great Bend from their own 1. 4:09 to play here in the half. Panthers up 14-0, looking to snap a 19-game losing streak.
There's been a phone found near the women's restroom at the pack. If you have lost your phone,
touchdown passes 5 and 67 yards for Great Bend quarterback Caden Shorman, 5'11", 190. Out of his own end zone, out of the shotgun, to the quarterback draw, to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, racing up the field and chased down from behind by Mitchell McDaniel, but not before he gets to the 41-yard line, and a huge run on the quarterback draw.
Yeah, and sometimes that can happen when somebody's pinned back near their goal line. Defense is looking for that safety, and if a guy gets that right crease, they can have a big play, and that's exactly what Sharman did there.
Marked the ball down at the 40.
And Buhler going with some different guys up on that D-line right now out there. Cash Carson, sophomore, starting in the 2-tech spot. Earlier tonight, they've been kind of moving people around defensively, going with the 3 down linemen look now.
Yeah, 3-man front out of the gun, trying to change things up. Here's side run, a flag out at the end of the play. It is Cody Miller to the 45. He is brought down there, and a flag out.
Yeah, Gotti and Haanen in on the stop for Buhler. Good to see Luca coming up and being aggressive from the safety spot and run support.
Luca Gotti, who, of course, broke the finger before the start of the season and has had that heavy wrap on the hand. It's not on there tonight. Now the penalty is a 15-yarder against the Crusaders. Wow.
I don't know where or who the penalty was on because they just said personal foul. They didn't say it was a late hit or unnecessary roughness. So, I mean, that's a pretty vague. I don't know what it was called.
And they're going to mark that from the spot of the foul?
Yeah, they're tacking it onto the end of the run, so it's a double whammy for Buhler, unfortunately.
All the way down to the 39-yard line. So Great Bend set up with terrific field position again on a drive that started at their own 1. 1st and 10 at the Buhler 39. Still 3:31 to go in the half. Sharman out of the gun, trips left. Quarterback draw, and across the 35 up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 5 before Sharman is brought down. Our coverage tonight from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth Allen Samuels, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram in Hutchinson. Come by. Let's be friends. Got to find some positive momentum here.
Yeah, a turnover would be just what the doctor ordered, because right now, Great Bend having a lot of success on this drive.
2nd and 5. High snap taken by Sharman. He's going to run it again. Flag out. That's got to be holding. Sharman to the 20, 15, and down to the 11-yard line. Well, let's hope that's coming back.
Yeah, right now they're just spreading Buhler out and basically kind of running the old-fashioned single wing with the quarterback taking the snap and then just charging upfield. And thankfully there was a holding penalty that's going to negate Sharman's big run.
Sometimes when there's a big hole, there's a reason, huh?
Yes, yes. And I do believe for Buhler it was Braden Gentry that got tackled by one of the Great Bend offensive players.
That'll be the 3rd penalty tonight on Great Bend. That'll bring up a repeat, a loss of 10 yards, and a repeat of 2nd down. Well, early first quarter score, Andover leading Goddard 7-0 tonight in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. Heston 14, Hillsboro nothing. End of one. Derby over Bishop Carroll 7-3. 2nd and 16 from the 45. Sharman to throw, near side flat, caught by Miller, the back. And progress across the 40, back up to the 35-yard line. So he gets to 10 yards on that little screen play to the right side.
And Buhler mixing things up defensively that time. Had double coverage here to the near side where Council's at. And so Buhler trying to really defend wherever that dangerous senior receiver's at.
Clearwater leading Rose Hill in the first, 14-0. Pratt 18, Halstead nothing. May South and Hutch High tied at 7. 3rd and 6, Panthers, right hash mark of the 45 here late in the first half. Great Bend up 14-0. Sharman works out of the gun. Trips to the left side. Fakes to his tailback, and a great play. Great job by Matt Eddy to stay home on that pass and bat it down incomplete.
Yeah, great quick hands that time by Eddy. He was lined up as one of the outside linebackers on the far side, batted it away. One of those that, man, if he would have had a little bit more time to react, that would have been a great opportunity for a pick six.
Hayesville leading Solana South at the end of 1-9-7. Hoisington 21, Lions nothing. Junction up by a field goal early on Mac, 3-0 in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. So a big 4th down coming up here, and see what Coach Beck wants to do. Looks like he's going to go for it on 4th and 6. See if he's just trying to draw him off sides or not. Sharman out of the shotgun with trips left, and I believe, yes, a timeout is taken. Trying to draw the Crusaders off sides. Timeout, 1:54 to go in the half. 14-0 Great Bend on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Thank you for supporting Phillips 66. Our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation and Sports Performance, together for your orthopedic needs. Now seeing physical therapy patients at Sterling College as well as our location in Hutchinson, enhancing the quality of your life and helping you return to the activities you love. Visit Summit online at summitks.com or call 620-665-7766 to make your consultation appointment. Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation and Sports Performance, together for exceptional health care.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Well, if Peter can get the ball back right here, having a time for a drive with 1:54 left is not out of the question.
Yep, and Buhler with all 3 of their timeouts remaining. So
I think they're going to go for it, though.
Yep,
buddy.
Great Bend is there.
4th down and 6 at the 35. Need the 29 for a first down. Trips left with Sharman in the gun. Looking to throw, looking, one-on-one. Receiver, it is caught. Touchdown, Great Bend. This time it is Luca Gotti on the far side who is beat by the Panther receiver, Maddox Spray. And the Panthers go up 3 scores.
In that time, just that. Unfortunately, Spray was able to get behind Gotti. It was kind of a wobbly pass, but Sharman's shown that he's not afraid to throw the ball downfield, and he throws it up and lets his receiver run underneath it, and Spray takes it to the house for 6.
Great Bend finds themselves up 3 scores with 1:47 to go in the half. Our secondary is just getting beaten up. And, boy, it doesn't do any good to pile on the kids. You got to feel for them. It's tough out there. So Galindo will punch it through. The extra point makes it 21-0. Of course, you know, there are no secrets with technology and the teams trade film these days. You know that Coach Beck saw in film this week what the first 2 teams have done to Buhler, going deep down the field, and they've had success doing that too.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that's kind of hurting Buhler tonight defensively. You know, Gavin Patton not playing any defense tonight. He's one of our most experienced D linemen, and a lot of our quickness from that 2-tech spot, so that's a tough thing for Buhler to overcome, having some of those younger guys and less experienced guys rolling through that position.
Well, Great Bend is Buhler has now given up 14 touchdowns on the year. We talked about that stat. Of the 14, 12 of them now have come outside the 20-yard line on big pass plays to the end zone where one-on-one coverage has gotten us in trouble. So we'll see what Buhler's offense can do with 1:47 to go here before the half. Again, our This Week in Crusader Sports coming up at halftime. We'll talk Crusader volleyball with head coach Deidre Emmel. They've got I think 4 ranked opponents coming up in the next 2 weeks, so that'll be tough. Not too far away from October and frolic time. We'll be looking forward to that too very soon.
I'm looking forward to frolic weather.
Yeah, that would be nice. And, of course, a lot of these teams will be getting into their postseason play, be it tennis and golf. First things first here, 1:47 to play. A short kick. Buhler's going to have good field position, 1:44 on the clock.
Great Bend recovered it.
Did Great Bend, they did. That kick return short, fumbled, and a second turnover on the Crusaders.
The kickoff.
Yeah, they went old school that time, just kicked it right at our front line, and the ball got batted up. The initial guy trying to recover it wasn't able to fall on it. Great Bend had guys in coverage pouring down the field, and Great Bend going for the kill shot now, getting the ball back with $1:44 left in Buhler territory.
Yeah, they still have plenty of time and all their timeouts here. Actually, I think they're
out, yes.
They did use those, did they not?
Yes.
I know. Yeah, those equipment malfunctions a little bit earlier. 1st and 10, and Sharman to throw, hits his man, complete at the 35, and then driven down by McDaniel.
Great form tackle by Mitchell McDaniel coming up that time from the corner spot here on the near side.
Catch made by Blake Parsons.
And that was a player for Great Bend that was out last week with an injury, and getting him back just adds more depth to their wide receiver core.
Forward progress to the 34. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Still out of the gun. Sharman pressure off the edge and zips it high. The intended receiver here on the near side was Colton Brock. Right there in coverage, though, a couple of Crusaders. Brock was going to get lit up if he got that football.
Yeah, Jeremy Gentry was perfect position that time to give him a lick if he was able to hang on to it.
Boy, it really changed it. Once they got some pressure off the edge on that play, it kind of changes the dynamic of the quarterback, forced him to get rid of it early. You'd love to see that Buhler front 7 get a little more pressure.
Yep, got to continue bringing the heat. Buhler again going pretty much straight man across the board, except on the far side in the secondary.
They're down at 3, 2 receivers either side. They put one in motion. That is Brock. He'll line up now far side. Trips left. Sharman looking to throw left now over the middle. And a pass too hot, intended for Council. Boy, I think that's the formula. Do not give Sharman time to sit back there in the pocket and pick you apart.
Yeah, give him some heat. And that time, good coverage by Luca Gotti. Good to see the senior stepping up, being physical there from the safety spot. And now Great Bend faced with a 4th down. They didn't take much time off the clock here. They started this possession with 1:44 left.
Down to 1:11 to go in the half. It's been a long second quarter. 4th and 3 at the 34. And looks like they will punt. Not a great snap. Sharman gets it away. And Buhler picks it up inside the 5. Return to the 11-yard line. On the return there for the Crusaders is Jeremy Gentry, and Buhler's going to have it deep in their own territory with 1:02 to go in the half.
Well, with us being down 3 scores, the good news is we'll start off the second half with the football. But Buhler will probably be aggressive here on the play calling to try to get some points on the board before the break.
1:02 to go here in the second. Buhler's going to start from their own 11. Down 3 scores, 21-0. And they'll break the huddle. Plenty of time, 25 seconds on the play clock. They'll start with quarterback Jeff Neal under center. Single receivers either side of the power I formation. Fullback handoff. Gentry finds a big hole up to the 15 to the 17-yard line. And a lot of space in the middle of that line that time. Good blocking up front for Gentry.
Yeah, good to see him having a nice carry there here for the Crusaders.
Yeah, the Panthers right now are playing prevent defense. They have 5 guys in their back secondary, a couple guys up in the middle, linebacker about 6 to 7 yards back, so a little farther than normal, and then 3 or 4 down linemen.
Going to bring up 2nd and 4, clock running, 30 seconds to go. They're going to keep it on the ground. Gavin Patton to the 20, 25 across the 30. They'll have to stop the clock here to move the chains up to the 32-yard line. Biggest run of the night for Gavin Patton.
Well, I like the situation here. Buhler running Gentry and Patton, trying to get him some confidence here before we get to break, and hoping maybe one of them can break the long one.
So a gain of 15 yards and a timeout taken. This timeout brought to you by our friends at Pile Law. If you, a friend or family member, have been the victim of an accident, contact Pile Law. At Pile Law, Tom takes the time to evaluate your options. Big weekend of college football, K-State Tulane. It's going to be a little warm for that kickoff tomorrow afternoon, my friend.
Yep, 2 o'clock. It's supposed to be a high of 95.
All right, first down here, 1st and 10, 18 on the clock. And another big run up the middle. Great Bend saying that another turnover.
Let's see what the officials say. No, they're going to rule him down, thankfully. So
another first down up. I think Gentry on the carry that time. Did he get the first down? No, about a yard shy at the 41. Well, yep. KU's all the way down in the speaking of hot, they're down in Houston.
Yeah, won't be humid there, will it?
Not at all. So Warriors, Sterling College has this weekend off before hosting Tabor next weekend. Hutch Blue Dragons have the weekend off as well. So Coach Warner not electing to try for any big type of play. He'll take it to the locker room and try and adjust his team and fight back from down 3 scores here at halftime. 21-0 at the break here at Memorial Stadium. Our Crusader football coverage brought to you tonight by the Prairie Bank of Kansas, by Heston Bakery, Erickson Custom Building, by Crusader Booster Club, and by Idea Tech. Stay tuned. Our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report begins after this on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
Ava Holden, Maddie Stoskov, Ellie Peters, Nanette Zoani, Kennedy Sanders.
Halftime report. Coming up, Aaron and Chris recap tonight's first half, and we'll catch up with other coaches and athletes in This Week in Crusader Sports. 95.9 HKFM.
The right price for protection is easier to find than you might think. Contact me, Andrew Parr, your Allstate agent in Hutchinson, for a free quote. Protection shouldn't be pricey. Call me today or stop by the office at 13th and Main in Midtown Hutchinson. Are you in good hands?
As your community bank, Prairie Bank of Kansas is always looking for ways to make banking more convenient, like e-statements. Eliminate the need to file your monthly statements. Now you can be notified the moment your statement is available and easily access it online. Sign up for e-statements online at prairiebankks.com or visit one of our locations in Stafford, Buhler, Inman, or Hutchinson. Prairie Bank of Kansas. How banking should be.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
Well, back here on our Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report in Great Bend tonight as we talk Crusader volleyball with head coach Deidre Emmel. Coach, thanks for some time. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, right in the middle of your season, I think you made the comment you've got about a 10-week stretch where you don't sleep at all. So apparently watching a lot of volleyball film.
Yes, a lot of volleyball film.
Let's talk about your team. Obviously, so young with that group of freshmen last year that kind of took some lumps. But from, I think, what we've seen on the court so far this year, they've really come a long ways and have improved a ton.
They have. It's been quite an incredible turnaround in just a year's time and their youth. And it's been really fun to just watch them come in that gym every day and work so hard and work for each other. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think interesting to watch how they handle that. You know, you get a group of kids that have been used to being very successful in middle school, and they get to high school, and it doesn't always go the way they want it to. But seems like that group has hung tough and fought through that, and starting to see that pay off. Talk about what you're seeing on the court.
It's a lot of relentless pursuit of the ball and holding each other accountable, high expectations for themselves and each other, and they're just really learning how to play without the stress and play relaxed under the pressure. And so that's exciting to see for all of them.
Yeah, and we talked about having a young group, and you've only got one senior, right? So this group of kids is going to be around together for a couple more years.
They are going to be around for a while. It's exciting for the future. It's exciting for my one senior, Emily. She's doing an incredible job leading this group with their youth.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe she helped to put together some volleyball stuff for the Jones family back in the summer, right?
Yes, yeah. She headed that up and got the team behind it, and it was incredible and humbling and just so rewarding to watch that happen.
Yeah, absolutely. You and I were talking about the fact you've got a tough, about a 3-week stretch where you're going to play some ranked teams coming up. What are you hoping as far as your team through that stretch? What would you like to see from your kids?
We've talked about when we come up against this tough stretch is focusing on our goals and what we want to do. And we talk a lot about cutting down our unforced errors, serving consistently tough, and taking that opportunity against these great teams to actually improve our game and become a better team.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are playing some good team ball right now, and like some of the stats that you see. It's a tough league you play in too. So definitely, by the time you get to the postseason, you guys have faced the best, I think. So.
Yes, definitely tough, and teams get kind of beat up every week in our league, and I think it's a blessing for us, because when you're playing tough opponents every week, you can't help but get better and be more prepared when postseason comes.
Absolutely. So you're on the road this coming week, but I believe home the following week on Tuesday. So I would encourage people to come out and cheer on the kids.
Absolutely. It's going to be some great volleyball. We host some incredible teams, so it'll be exciting.
Well, Coach, best of luck the rest of the way. Thanks for your time as always. We appreciate it. And, good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
That is Coach Deidre Emmel talking Crusader volleyball, and they are on the road coming up Tuesday. They'll take on Andale and circle the 20th and home on the 27th. More of our halftime coming up right after this.
More of the Prairie Bank of Kansas halftime report is coming up after this. Prairie Bank of Kansas, your locally owned full-service bank since 1886. 95.9 HKFM. The Buhler Crusaders play here.
Allen Samuels & Hutch is proud to support our community and local businesses, and we promise to continue to do so. Follow us on Facebook and join in our weekly giveaways. Check out our website at allensamuelshutch.com for our new inventory arriving daily. And remember, Ladies' Day is every Tuesday for discounted oil changes, tire rotation, and a free car wash. Allen Samuels on the giant corner of 30th and Lorraine and Hutch. We always have a warm cup of coffee waiting, and that's why Mr. Samuels always says,
"Come by, let's be
family friends.
Hi, this is Jen Stallman with the Buhler Booster Club. Booster Club supports all student activities and athletics. Please consider membership in our Booster Club to help support all students at Buhler High School. Follow the Buhler Booster Club and the Buhler Crusader Closet on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date. Thanks for the continued support of our generous donors.
With today's growing challenges at home and at school, our youth need positive role models now more than ever. You can be a part of the solution. Rise Up Reno is looking for mentors for our school-based mentorship programs to support our youth. Let's all rise up together for our youth in Reno County. To learn more about our mentoring programs or how to be a mentor, visit www.riseupreno.org. Rise up, Reno!
Tickets are on sale now for Hutch Brewfest, a craft beer festival in downtown Hutchinson, Saturday, October 1st from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Your ticket comes with a taster glass to sample a large variety of delicious beers brewed exclusively in Kansas. Tickets are going fast for this popular event, so make sure to reserve yours today. Visit hutchrec.com or stop by in person at 17 East 1st.
Sign up now, hutchrec.com.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back here at halftime from Memorial Stadium in Great Bend, it is 21-0 Panthers. Great Bend, 3 first-half touchdown passes from Caden Sharman. The first came with 37 seconds to go in the first quarter. A 5-yard pass to Colton Brock made it 7-0. And a 67-yard strike at 9:39 to go in the second quarter to Braylon Council, 14-0. Buhler drove on their next series, got all the way down to the 2-yard line, and Jeff Neal had a 19-yard field goal attempt blocked. Great Bend then from their own one goes all the way down the field. A 35-yard touchdown pass, 99-yard drive in 6 plays. Maddox Spray catches that. And with 1:47 to go in the half, it was 21-0. That is our score. Here at halftime, it's been tough sledding for the Buhler Crusaders. We'll have much more coming up, some first-half stats, some other scores, and more of our This Week in Crusader Sports coming up after this from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth. Crusader football on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
I'm Dr. Dal Hunt with Buhler Dental Care. At Buhler Dental Care, we have great registered hygienists to help schedule your family for convenience. You will receive high-quality dental care and build a positive relationship with our experienced staff in a pleasant and reassuring atmosphere. We like to have some fun with you and get to know you while you spend time with us. So be sure to give us a call at 620-543-2768 or email us at drdalldds@gmail.com. Buhler Dental Care, providing healthy smiles with a gentle touch.
At Dix Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dix offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dix Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Well, Aaron West back here. Our halftime coverage continues from Great Bend tonight. A look at our This Week in Crusader Sports. Buhler Golf had its best week of the season so far. The Crusaders placed third against a largely 5A and 6A field at Newton on Tuesday. All 6 Crusader golfers placed inside the top 30, led by Marley Cooper's 6th place round of 42. Thursday, the ladies hit the links at Turkey Creek and McPherson, capturing 4th place. Cooper again medaled, this time with a 4th place round of 89, just 3 strokes off the lead. Elise Gover was not too far behind in 11th, shooting a 97. Buhler heads to El Dorado to play Prairie Trails next Thursday. Buhler's home tennis invite took place Thursday at the Balzer Tennis Courts. The Lady Crusaders claimed the top spot in the open draw field. Olivia Frederick took 2nd and Kayleigh Hamby 4th in the 16-player bracket. Frederick made it all the way to the final before falling to former state champion Catherine Weiss of Salina Sacred Heart. On the doubles side, Kayla Babcock and Tegan Nickel improved their record to 15-3 on the season, winning their bracket. Jaden Gillette and Ashlyn Coker placed 8th. Just 4 meets remain before regionals on October 8th for the tennis ladies at Wellington. The Crusaders back on the court tomorrow at Smoky Valley. On the soccer pitch, Buhler went 2-0 this week, earning wins against Winfield and Salina Sacred Heart. The Crusaders dominated Winfield Tuesday in a 7-1 decision. Thursday, defense won the day with the Buhler edging out Central 2-0. Jalen Cherry had both goals for the Crusaders, who have won 4 straight and are now 5-1 on the season. Buhler is home for back-to-back matches beginning this Tuesday against Mulvane at Crusader Stadium. In volleyball, Buhler went 1-1, splitting their home triangular with Mulvane and Winfield on Thursday. The Crusaders lost to Mulvane in 3 sets, 25-16, 20-25, and 20-25. They were then down a set to Winfield before fighting back to claim victory, 19-25, 25-22, 26-24. A young Buhler squad now 7-4 on the season. They'll go up against a pair of ranked opponents in Andale and Circle in Towanda on Tuesday. And Buhler cross country, the boys raced to a third-place finish at Thursday's home invitational. Southeast of Saline won the meet with Berean Academy placing second. Lane Whistler and Caden Lawrence each notched top 10 times. Whistler was 7th with a 12:21.5. Lawrence's 17:29.9 was good for 8th. In the girls' race, the Lady Crusaders crossed the finish line in 4th. Great Bend claimed the top spot. Lindsey Warner for Buhler medaled in 10th with a time of 22:29.0. Cross country competes next Tuesday at Southeast of Saline. That's a look at our This Week in Crusader Sports. More of our halftime after this.
You're listening to the Prairie Bank of Kansas Halftime Report. Tonight's second half kickoff is coming up next. Join Aaron West and head coach Steve Warner Monday nights at 6:30 for the Crusader Coaches Show, 95.9 HKFM.
Advanced Physical Therapy of Hutchinson offers the most comprehensive physical therapy in the area. Our therapists at Advanced Physical Therapy are trained in multiple specialties such as women's health, dry needling, hand therapy, and orthopedics. If getting in to see your physician is difficult, Advanced Physical Therapy may be able to see you without a referral. We pride ourselves in one-on-one goal-oriented therapy to help reduce your pain and get back to doing the things you love. Call Advanced Physical Therapy or visit our website at aptclinics.com and see how we can help you live at your physical best.
Rise and shine. It's daylight time and time to go to your happy place. With kids back in school, that means fall flavors are returning to your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts. Bear claws, pine cones, pumpkin and apple spice cake donuts, and of course, all your favorite standards made fresh from scratch each morning. Order online and have them ready to pick up by going to HutchinsonDaylightDonuts.com. At 3rd and Main and 1435 East 30th, we're your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts.
Neufeld Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
We're here to keep you rolling. Rod's Tire and Service.
Rod here from Rod's Tire and Service in Hillsboro. When people ask me what business I'm in, I say the problem-solving business. Since 1999, we've been here to help solve all your tire and wheel problems.
Crusader football on HKFM.
All right, back here at halftime from Great Bend. And time for tonight's first half recap. Brought to you in part by our friends at Daylight Donuts. Time to go to your happy place, made from scratch every morning. Daylight Donuts with 2 locations in Hutchinson. Rise and shine. It's daylight time. Christopher, go ahead and give us our first half totals.
Total offense tonight at the half, Great Bend with 305 yards compared to Buhler's 126 yards. Both ran about the same amount of plays, but Great Bend averaging over almost 11 yards a play compared to Buhler's 5 yards per play. Through the air tonight, Jeffrey Neal is 3 of 6 for 43 yards and an INT. And for Great Bend, their quarterback, Caden Sharman, he is 9 of 16 for 209 yards and 3 touchdowns on the ground. Great Bend with a slight advantage there, 96 yards compared to Buhler's 83. We'll get into some of the individual stats. One other stat that really stood out there going on, they've got triple the receptions we do here in this first half. But getting into the, scrolling down here. So again, individual statistics, rushing on the ground. Gavin Patton, 8 carries for 44 yards. Matthew Eddy, 4 carries for 30 yards for Buhler. Also rushing tonight, Jeffrey Neal, 5 carries for 5 yards, and Braden Gentry, 2 carries for 4 yards. For Great Bend, on the ground tonight in the first half, Sharman has 5 carries for 55 yards, and Miller has 7 carries for 41 yards. Receiving core-wise, Braden Gentry has 2 catches for Buhler for 37 yards. Matthew Eddy 1 catch for 3 yards. And for Great Bend, no surprise here, their main guy doing the damage, Braylon Council, 4 catches for 142 yards, a touchdown with 1 catch tonight. Maddox Spray had the 35-yard touchdown grab, and also with 2 catches and 20 yards tonight is Cody Miller for Great Bend.
All right, some other halftime scores in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard tonight. As Heston up at the half over Hillsboro 14-12, Pratt 24, Halstead 7. Dodge City leading Wichita South 34-7. Goddard nothing. Carroll leading Derby now 17-14. Hutch High has taken the lead over May South. It is homecoming at Gowans tonight 21-7. Mound Ridge and Wichita Independent tied at 12. Heights leading Topeka Siemens 7-0. And those are some other scores that we have for you in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. Check out games across the AdAstro Sports Network tonight. Online at adastroradio.com and streaming on the AdAstro Radio app. Powered by Next Tech Wireless. Shop the latest phones and devices at the best prices. Great Bend to kick off here to start half number 2. And boy, Buhler really needs to come out of the gates and have a good third quarter.
Yeah, it's one of those things you always talk about, whether you're up or down at the half. You got to come out in the second half, play like it's 0-0. So Buhler's just got to pick up the intensity and try to make it a new half and try to climb back into this game one down at a time.
And Galindo will squib it. Will Haanen is going to fall on it at the 24-yard line. That is where Buhler is going to start on offense for the second half. Down 3 touchdowns. Keys to the second half here.
Okay, a good drive here to start off. The second half will be big, especially trying to score here, because that would really send the message to Great Bend. It's a new half, limiting those turnovers, and then defensively trying to avoid the big play and try to keep all those receivers in front of us.
All right, 1st and 10 out of the eye. 2 receivers right side. Jeff to pass. They find Eddy out in the flat far side. Catch at the 30, and he'll push forward to the 31-yard line. Matt Eddy coming into the game had a great first 2 games. 4 catches. 21 catches for 322 yards.
Yeah, so good to see Eddy get established here early in this third quarter with a little slip screen on the far side, picking up some good yards on first down.
Picks up 7 there. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Tight end Haanen on the right side. Out of the I formation. Flag out at the snap.
It's going to be a false start on Buhler.
So Will Haanen getting the start at tight end tonight. The first time and of that young group. We've talked about him a lot in the first 3 weeks. He's got a really promising career ahead of him.
He does, and physical player on defense and offensively, going to really get some confidence build up getting the start tonight, and hopefully can transfer that physicality over to blocking well.
Comes from a great family. Got messages from both his mom and dad this week just saying thank you for our coverage. 2nd down and 8 now with the penalty. Jeff Neal under pressure is going to heave it, looking for Eddy down the sideline. Off Eddy's hand at the 40 of Great Bend. Matt might have put the Jets on if he's able to catch that pass, but just off his fingertips, incomplete.
Yeah, I like Buhler attacking downfield, trying to open things up in the run game and throw those long routes. It's going to make the DBs be focused more on defending the pass and not just selling out to come up for run support.
So unfortunately, 3rd down and long here, 3rd and 8. Substitutions coming out of the field. Austin Rogers checking back in. So they're going to go to a spread look. Tavian Gilliam in the game. Trips to the left. Single receiver is Rogers to the far side on 3rd and 8. Jeff being pressured. It's going to wrap up, be hit, fumbles the football. Gavin Patton is going to fall on it. It's going to be 4th and long as they lose yardage back to the 16-yard line. Great Bend bringing pressure that time. No time to throw the ball.
Yeah, that time Gavin Patton, the lone back in the backfield, could feel the pressure coming from the right-hand side in the backfield. Did a great job of hustling over there to try to slow down the pressure coming off the edge, but they were able to hit Neal and force the fumble. Luckily, Patton fell on it to keep possession, but Buhler will be punting with Jeff Neal back inside his own 5.
There, Jeff Neal set to kick the ball away. 10:26 to go here in the third, 21-0. And it hits at the 49-yard line, and it'll roll into Circle territory out of bounds at their 49, or excuse me, Great Bend. Circle was last week. 10:19 to go in the third. Panthers with a 3-touchdown lead. They could, you feel like another score here might
Again, we would like to thank.
Might just put a nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Buehler's got to keep it at 3 scores or better to try to have a puncher's chance here.
Thank you both for supporting Panther Athletics.
Hoisington 41, Lions 6. Now that a halftime score in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. First and 10 at the 49. Sharman takes the snap, hands off to the tailback Miller. He's been impressive tonight. Far side run and into Buhler territory across the 45 and up to the 44-yard line.
Yeah, Miller coming into tonight's game only had 138 yards, and you know he had a pretty good first half, and I think he might have a chance to get that 138 or more just in this game alone.
Sun has set to the west. Temperature much better now. Second down and 3. Clock running. 9:49 to go in the third. This is Sharman out of the gun. 2 backs with him. Bobbles the snap. Quarterback draw. Forward right at the first down stick at the 41. Should have enough to move the chains.
Initial hit on the play.
And now they're going to signal to move the sticks, so Great Bend's first drive of the second half will continue.
First down, Panthers.
Chase Henderson from that defensive tackle position makes the stop. Great Bend with 3 touchdown passes in the first half tonight. And driving here in their first series in the second half. They'll come to the line. You know, Great Bend's not going to be up multiple scores here, too. They want to run some time off this clock. Inside 10 when they snap the football. 4 wide receiver look, quarterback draw with Sharman forward. And he'll be tripped up after a gain of about 5. Forward progress to the 36.
Hainan with the tackle, and with Great Bend's success through the air, Buhler going with just a 3-man front, devoting more of the defensive guys to defending the pass.
Second and 5 here, 8:46 to go in the third. Yeah, some intriguing college football this weekend, how KU does down at Houston. Cougars, pretty good football team. They had a little trouble last week, though.
Yep, one of the future Big 12 teams, too.
Second and 5, 2 backs with Sharman in the backfield. It's going to be Miller. Bounces off a tackler, not much more, though. Falls forward to the 31, and that's going to be enough, though. 5 yards on the play for another first down.
Yeah, Houston game was quite the finish there against Texas Tech, and actually tore down the goalpost in Lubbock after that win.
I was going to say, it was in Lubbock, wasn't it? And I can't imagine Tulane beating K-State, but...
well, K-Staters are hoping to get the win to be undefeated for the big
it's
matchup.
Oklahoma
the
following week. First and 10 at the 31-yard line, and flag comes out.
They went with a hard count that time, and the right side of our D line jumped, entered the neutral zone, so we'll give Great Bend a free 5 there.
Although I would say K-State's kind of had Oklahoma's number here as of late, haven't they?
Yeah, we usually play them better in Norman than Manhattan, so we'll see if that continues.
Third penalty of the night on the Crusaders makes it a first and 5 at the 26. Chiefs. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, see if the defense can try to regain some momentum, but Great Bend with great situation down and distance-wise with first and 5.
And Showerman throws it out in the flat near side. It is caught. And forward progress down to the 24-yard line to Maddox Spray. And that's going to set up a second and short gain of 2. Chiefs played last night, so they'll be off on Sunday. But that was exciting. The 99-yard pick 6 by Jalen Watson, the rookie.
Yeah, not something you see every day.
2nd down and 3. Sharman out of the gun. 2 receivers right. Council had a big first half. He is one-on-one with Tavian Gilliam on the left side. Linebackers played up inside the 20. Tight in the box, expecting a run. Here it comes, up the middle. And it's again right at the stick to move the chains for Cody Miller.
Yeah, and they're going to signal a first down and give Great Bend the spot for the first down. So Great Bend now knocking on the door for the first time here in this third quarter.
Yeah, and Braden Gentry's still a little ginger to get up. We talked about him coming into half. He's dealing with what looks like some rib stuff, holding his midsection side. He dealt with a little bit of that here before the season began, so we'll keep tabs on that as tonight goes on.
Our injury reports tonight brought to you by Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation. Sports performance together for exceptional health care. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Carry up the middle, cross the 15, and down to the 11-yard line. Cody Miller again picks up another 10 yards. And Panthers threatening in the Crusader red zone.
Yeah, play or stop made that time by Jeremy Gentry.
Yeah, I think a lot of those, maybe some of those new teams into the fold next year in the Big 12.
Yes.
Houston, of course, Cincinnati, BYU.
UCF.
Central Florida all coming in. See if Oklahoma and Texas exit early. 1st and 10 here at the 11-yard line, so Panthers can get a touchdown without a first down. Or I guess that would be the other way around, wouldn't it? First down without a touchdown. Inside run across the 10 down to the 8-yard line.
Yeah, unfortunately for Buhler, that's one of the worst spots you can get in football, where the other team has a 1st and 10 from the 11, because that means they can get a fresh set of downs without scoring.
Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7 coming up here. Wonder how it went for Chiefs fans having to have Amazon Prime to watch the game last night.
Yeah, some people had to break down and finally join
the Amazon revolution. 2nd and 7, and a flag comes out. Quarterback being chased into the end zone. There are 3 different markers on the field, so there'll be no touchdown signal. I think the first flag probably holding in the backfield.
Yeah, it was a wide receiver reverse that time. They had Council split out in the slot on the near side, and he came back behind.
Yeah, the Braylon Council.
Sharman, and luckily, just from the movement of the Great Bend Panthers, look like it's going to be a penalty on Great Bend.
3 different officials threw the flag that time. As a Council on that reverse. 2 different fouls in the offense.
Offense, that penalty is declined. Holding, offense, 10 yards from the flag. Repeat, 2nd down.
Block in the back and holding are the 2 calls. And so that'll move the football back. The line of scrimmage was the 8. Going to bounce it back to the 22. So a big break for Buhler.
Yes. Let's see if we can use it.
2nd and 21.
This would be good for the psyche of the defense to try to get the stop here.
Trips left on 2nd and long. Sharman out of the gun. Lone setback is Miller in the backfield. Pressure over the middle and incomplete. Good pressure brought that time by the Black Knight defense. And Sharman had to dump it away, incomplete.
Yeah, they had the screen pass dialed up that time. Buhler did a great job of anticipating. Had all sorts of defenders in the neck of the woods, the intended receiver, and so incompletion brings up a 3rd and long now for the Panthers.
Brian Regier in the face of Showerman. He was on our coaches show Monday in our player profile. Just a fantastic young man.
Yep, you're not going to meet a better kid than Brian Regier. A man of few words.
I did have to apologize to him, though. I was looking over some stats right before we went on with his segment. As it's 3rd and 21. They're going to throw it far side. Caught by Spray. Chased down by Eddie at the 10. And that's going to bring up 4th down for the Panthers. he and Will Hanen were on, and I was looking at a stat sheet right before I started talking to him, and I was looking at Braden Gentry's numbers, and I looked up at Brian, and I said, okay, Braden. A little egg on my face.
It happens.
Fourth down from the 9. Great Bend's going to come on here for a PAT, or rather a field goal try. I'm sorry, this should be the
27-yarder.
First points, if it's good, of the second half. 27 yards for Galindo. It's got the distance. It is up and good. And Great Bend tacks on to their lead. Now 24-0. 5:06 to go in the third. Crusader football from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
Phillips 66, our family has kept motorists on the road for nearly 60 years. Hi, this is Janet Dick, inviting you to stop by our locally owned station at 1215 East 4th in Hutch. Dick's offers top-tier gasoline, grab-and-go food options, and friendly service. Wherever you're headed, every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillips 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch.
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
Crusader football on HKFM.
And our coverage of Crusader football tonight brought to you in part by People's Bank and Trust, by Rise Up Reno, Prairie Star Health Center, by Hutchinson Community College, and by Fee Insurance. Buehler's not been 0-3 in a season since 2000. That was 5 years before Coach Warner came to the program.
It was the first year after Coach Porter retired, and the seniors from that year are all now 40 years old, so that has been a minute ago.
Yeah, Roger Robin took over, the late to Roger Robin. Squib kick bounces taken at the 20, 25, and returned to the near side of the 30-yard line for the Crusaders. Luca Gotti, good to see him back in action. He was so frustrated with that broken finger. Talked to his parents before the start of the season, and he was anxious to get back as soon as he could.
Yep, and good to see the club off his hands. You know, last week he was playing with a massive club on his hands, so good to see him slowly but surely healing up.
His younger sister runs cross country for the 8th grade. Don't tell him she's the athlete of the team. First and 10, Buehler from their own 30, third quarter, still looking for their first points of the night, and they throw high, and that is a dangerous throw on the near sideline. Matt Eddy in double coverage at the 41, incomplete.
Yeah, Noah Yerke was right there in the neck of the woods, as well as Ian Creamer.
That'll bring up a second down and 10. Stops the clock with 4:57 to play in the third quarter. Great Bend leading 24-0. Jeff Neal out of the shotgun. Gavin Patton to his right. Two receivers right, one left. That is Gilliam. As Eddie goes in motion, the jet sweep from left to right, trying to get to the edge on the outside. Now he cuts back inside across the 30. And that's just Matt Eddy making something out of nothing. Forward progress to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, Matt Eddy, with all of his early season success, he's going to be a marked man for all these defenses that Buehler sees throughout the season. And good flow that time by Great Bend out in the flat to hold him to just a couple-yard gain.
Hanen and Gentry will check back in here on offense on third down, 3rd and 8. Buehler's got to find some way to get some life in the offense. It's been tough sledding out of the I formation. Eddy to the near side, and a fumbled snap, and Great Bend falls on it. And if that holds, it'll be Buehler's third turnover of the night. And there it is. 3 turnovers tonight, and they're now -8 on the season.
And the worst news about that, even worse than the turnover, is that down on the field, Braden Gentry is in some serious pain. Hopefully it's just cramps, but from his reaction, I don't know, maybe a little bit more serious than cramps.
So an injury timeout here brought to you by Summit Surgical and Pinnacle Rehabilitation. Sports Performance. Schedule your free consultation at summitks.com. Together for exceptional health care. That is Braden Gentry, senior fullback, who is down at the 30, and it looks like they are stretching out Is that the right leg? Coach Doc Lackey out there.
Yeah, hopefully it is just a cramp. It is such a hot night.
Yeah.
And, man, earlier, there's not much shade here at Great Bend. These guys were warming up in just hot conditions, and good to see him walking off the field under his own power.
Well, the third turnover tonight, my friend, that is, wow. Unheard of in this program to be behind in turnovers.
Yeah, turnovers are just really tough to overcome.
2 of them by fumble. One was on a fumble to kickoff tonight. The other was a ball that Austin Rogers had caught but then had taken away, and now that fumble there. 1st and 10 for Great Bend.
Just got a Buhler score update out of Junction City. Mac, his lead's been cut to 2. It's now 12-10.
From the Buhler 31, handoff up the middle on the first down. Forward progress to the 26. So how do you approach this as a coach now? Can you not, are you still worried about the end result, or is it more now just, hey, play to play, we have to find ways to get better?
Well, you got to just take it one down at a time and, just really emphasize effort and, really focus on if a guy is giving effort, can encourage him on, and if a guy is struggling with effort, encourage him to play with effort.
All right, 2nd and 5 at the 26. They'll keep it on the ground, inside carry. First down stick is at the 21. I think they're going to be a yard shy of that at the 22, gain of 4. And so Great Bend looking at a 3rd down and 1 here.
Yeah, because one of the things sometimes gets lost on losing teams is that even on losing teams, there's kids that still play with great heart and effort. And so,
absolutely.
Right now, just got to really emphasize that. And, situations like this, okay, it's 3rd and 1. Let's see if we can get the stop here, get the ball back, try to get something going.
3rd and 1 at the 22-yard line. Sharman out of the gun. 2 receivers left. Council alone to the right side. And they're going to give it to Miller. He's got the first down inside the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Great Bend.
And Miller's just a hard runner. He had a seam over there to the left-hand side and was blocked well, and he goes untouched. That's the unfortunate thing. He was not touched by a defender, I don't believe, on that play as he takes it to the house for 6.
2:40 to go in the third. Great Bend has scored on both series here in the second half. They had the 27-yard field goal by Alex Galindo. Now the 22-yard touchdown run by Cody Miller. This is his second touchdown carry of the year. The extra point up.
It's going to be an encroachment penalty.
And a flag down. So it will count.
Well, encroachment would be a dead ball foul, so
they'll have to kick it again. I don't think the Panther band did. Nobody told them that. They're going to try it again.
So the ball moved half the distance to the goal line now for Great Bend.
Talked about tonight, Great Bend trying to break that 19-game losing streak going back to 2019. And Galindo will retry, and this time it is up and good. 2:40 to go in the third. Great Bend at 31. Buhler nothing from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
In an insurance company. Hello, this is Brad Patton from Wade Patton Insurance. If you're looking for sound advice, dependable service, and the careful evaluation of your family's insurance needs, you should give us a call. At Wade Patton Insurance, we specialize in personal service. Your agent that evaluates and sells you your policy is the same agent that will be there answering questions and providing sage advice when you need it. So if you're looking for personal service from an accessible agent, check us out online or give us a call at 620-662-5469.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back here to Memorial Stadium in Great Bend. Aaron West, Chris Shank, Carson Muller. Here on KWHK Hutchinson on the Astro Radio app and on the Crusader Sports Network. Those of you tuning in via YouTube tonight, we say thank you very much.
We want to thank our crew. We've got a great crew helping us out.
Yeah, led by Colton Hines, who we begged, borrowed, and steal to come back for a year, and brought a couple of young guys with him.
We got him another year of eligibility.
Low squib kick again. It gets away from, I think that is McDaniel there, is going to let it roll into the end zone for a touchback. And Buhler will start with the ball here. 2:40 to go in the third from their own 20. It's going to go back in the annals. We still have a ton of football to play here, but last time a Warner team was shut out, how often does that happen?
I can start digging through.
Not very.
I can dig and find, Aaron.
Buhler 1st and 10 here. I'm going to have to scroll back a ways. 2012 in the playoffs against Mulvane. Last time Buhler was shut out in a game. 1st and 10 at the 20. That was, I remember that night. That was at Mulvane. Big run up the middle. Gavin Patton finds a hole from the 20 across the 30 and up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 14 for GP.
Yeah, there you go. Patton battling hard. Finds a little seam and
well, that's what you got to keep doing, like you talked about. Just keep fighting.
Yep, and see who wants to play ball.
Yeah, absolutely. 1st and 10. Up the middle again. Forward progress to the
ball carrier, number 20.
Another run by Patton.
And 36-yard line, 37.
Patton's playing with a banged up ankle that he hurt back in the Andover Central game. That's the main reason that he's not seeing a lot of action on defense.
Second down and 6, 1:52 to go in the third out of the power I. Here is Patton again across the 40. Right at the first down stick at the 44. That should move the chain. So just a quick glance at the season records. That is the only time a Steve Warner-led Buhler program has been shut out in a game, was that playoff game. I say that was 2012
yes,
against Mulvane.
And then I did. Mulvane had our number. They did it in 6, too.
Did they? Sure did. So twice against the same team. Big throw by Jeff Neal, picked off. Flags are out, though.
I think they're going to get a pass interference, thankfully, because it looked like he shoved off Matt Eddy.
The defender was going down the field of this near sideline with Matt Eddy, and at the 30, he turned around, pushed Matt, came back to the ball and picked it off. And I think they're going to tag the defender there, the defensive back, for that penalty.
Yeah, it was Ian Premer that they're going to get for the pass interference, I believe. And we made a note of it earlier. Of course, Ian's dad, Chad Premer, is a Buhler grad.
Yeah, you look at the beginning of that route. Matt Eddy had him beat, and as soon as he had that one step by him, his hands were all over, grabbing his jersey, doing whatever he could to not let Matt Eddy get a touchdown, which is great coaching by the Panthers to limit that to only 15, where it potentially could have been a tutty.
That moves the ball to the Great Bend 41. Great Bend's 5th penalty tonight. So 2 shutouts in the Warner era, both against Mulvane. We'll see the Wildcats later this year out of the eye. And a tailback run up the middle. We have a Crusader limping.
Well, on the positive thing,
that play, it's Ryland Parks.
Try to find the positive things. You know, sometimes the team will start having some success offensively when the other team starts subbing down. This is still Great Bend's first-team defense out there. So Buhler's making some headway finally against their number ones.
Second down and 8 after a gain of 2. Down to 47 seconds to go in the quarter. Jeff Neal, quick throw over the middle that is tipped incomplete. Looking for the tight end, Will Hanen, over the middle. It kind of looked like something Patrick Mahomes would try there with that quick throw over the middle.
Yes, yeah, that time Matthew Mader got just enough of it to bat it away, or Hanen would have had a nice catch and probably picked up some yards after completion. But, yeah, I'm sure everybody saw that throw that Mahomes made on that first touchdown last night. Just does incredible things night in and night out.
Doesn't, I mean, it looks effortless for him. 3rd and 8 at the 39. Jeff to throw. Near far side, he's got Matt Eddy caught 35. Matt makes a move to the 30, 25, down to the 20. Little zig, a little zag, and Matt Eddy got himself free for a first down. That'll move the sticks. Great play from Neal to Eddy. And all the way down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
Well, this is a very positive thing for Buhler, showing some life. A lot of teams down 31-0. They'd really fold their tent. Kids would start fighting with each other. So good to see Buhler kind of pulling things together here, put together a drive, and hopefully get the shutout burn off here.
Yeah, Buhler trying to get the 0 off the scoreboard. 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll stay in the eye. Play action. Jeff rolling to his left. Throws back across his body, but high for Matt Eddy. Eddy was open, but that's a tough throw going away from the throw for your quarterback to make incomplete.
Yeah, and in coverage that time with Skylar McMullen, and he had a play to possibly pick that at the back of the end zone, so thankfully he wasn't able to hold on.
It makes it 2nd down and 10. It'll stop the clock. 10 seconds to go. Likely this the final play of the 3rd quarter. Peter gets to the line, far side hash mark going right to left here quickly. And Jeff Neal rolling to his left again, wants to pass, throws in coverage, and Matt Eddy can't haul it in, incomplete. Braylon Council on the coverage, and that'll stop the clock with 3 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter, and it's 3rd down and 10.
So a big 3rd down on the way.
Got to figure you're in 4-down territory here. I mean, down this far, down as much as you are.
Yeah, they might try a field goal just to beat the shutout and just to, get some confidence in Neal kicking the football. But hopefully we can convert on 3rd down and it doesn't come up to a decision.
And Jeff had a field goal blocked earlier in the game. 3 seconds on the clock as they come to the line. 5 on the play clock. 3rd and 10. I formation, single receivers either side. Going far corner and incomplete.
Intended receiver was Luca Gotti over there on the far sideline.
Far side, and that'll get us to the end of the 3rd. 4th down coming up. 31-0 Great Bend from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
After the end of the 1st, Junction City leading McPherson 3-0, Great Bend 7, Buhler 0, Central Christian over Stafford 8-0, Haven 21, Nickerson 0, Hoisington 14, Lions 0, Sterling 6, Sedgwick 0, Heston 14, Hillsboro 0, Pratt leading Halstead 12-0, Mays up on Newton 14-0, Cheney 14, Douglas 0, Kingman 22, Wichita Trinity 0, Southeast of Saline leading Minneapolis 24-0. With a score update, I'm Lucky Kid.
Newfeld's Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
Parking lots and driveways can be expensive to install. This is Derek Fees. Let APAC Kansas Shears Division help you properly maintain these investments. Patching, crack filling, sealing, and striping are just some of the services we provide. Call APAC today at 620-662-2112.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And you heard Lucky's Buhler Dental Care scoreboard update. We're well past that now. We'll get you some fresh scores coming up here in the final 12 minutes. As Coach Warren will face a 4th down out of the timeout, 4th and 10 at the 18.
Well, the nice thing about that quarter break coming when it did, it gave the coaches an extended period of time to think about what to do here and what play to dial up. And Buhler's going to go for it here on the big 4th down.
So 4th and 10 from the 18. They need the 8-yard line. Trips left, single receiver to the near side is Owen Schmidt. They throw far side in the flat to Matt Eddy, and he's upended quickly. It'll be a turnover on downs, and Buhler still unable to put points on the board.
Yeah, so unfortunately a Buhler drive that had some momentum comes up short, and Great Bend will keep their shutout alive.
11:55 to go here in the game.
Panthers will take over on downs.
Great Bend will start from their own 18-yard line. Clearwater leading Rose Hill now into third, 28-10. Andover Central 10, Arc City nothing. And 4A scores. And Great Bend likely to keep it on the ground here in the fourth quarter in a far side run. Across the 20, but a loss of 1 on the play, back to the 19.
And that time, Braden Gentry's helmet popped off, so he'll have to come out for a down.
Hoisington leading Lions 41-6. Clay Center up over Abilene 37-0. Abilene had started the year 2-0. What else you got there, pal?
Over on Kicks Country 106, Heston leading Hillsborough 21-18 in the third. The Hoisington score now 48-6. Hoisington on top. And Trinity Catholic over on Kansas Rocks 100.3 and Heart of America lead action, leading Marion 21-0. Sterling over Sedgwick 20-14.
Second down and 7. Quarterback out of the gun. And Miller, the tailback, breaks free to the 30. First down, 35-40. Breaks an ankle tackle to midfield. And a big run for Cody Miller, who's had a big night all the way to the Buhler 48-yard line.
Gotti with the touchdown-saving tackle that time, pushing him out of bounds. And like you said, Aaron, I mean, Great Bend is going to probably ground and pound this thing into oblivion to try to burn clock and get this game finished up.
That was a 33-yard run for the junior tailback, Cody Miller. Great Bend will come to Buhler next year in this series. First and 10, 11 to go in the fourth quarter clock. Two backs with Sharman in the backfield. And Miller met with some emphasis at the line of scrimmage. And dropped for short gain, maybe no gain on the play.
Henderson and Haynen teaming up for a good form tackle that time. And so good to see the guys still playing with some emotion out there.
Well, we're still looking for our Schmidt Electric spark of the game tonight. It's been a little sparkless here. Our great friends at Schmidt Electric, but we do want to mention them. Be sure your project will be done right the first time with over 15 years experience. Second and 10 at the 48 here for Great Bend. Schmidt Electric got spark. Can't go without talking about the mayor. Second and 10 at the 48. And no gain. The Black Knight Hats rallying to the football again. Actually, they'll give them a yard to the 47. And it's going to be third down.
Big Brian Regier in on the stop for Buhler. So now a third and long coming for Great Bend.
Ken Galva beats Solomon tonight in our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard, 58-6. Garden City 49, Wichita West nothing. Second half scores: Pratt 40, Halstead 7. Goddard and Andover tied at 7.
And just got a final out of Marion. Trinity Catholic moves to 3-0 on the season, beating Marion 21-8.
Third down and 9. 47-yard line. 9:40 to go in the game. Great Bend leading 31-0. And Panthers let the clock run all the way down to 1 second, maybe trying to hard count. And we've got a pile of timeouts. So we'll take one as well. Come back. 9:38 to go in the game from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
Right? I'm Ashley McClure, owner of IVP Benefits Consulting Group, a local insurance agency. I know what it's like to work hard to win. We'll work hard to find you winning rates for all of your healthcare needs. Call us at 620-904-7010.
Hi, this is Randy Gotti with the Buhler Booster Club. Please consider membership in our Booster Club to support all students at Buhler High School. Follow the Buhler Booster Club and the Buhler Crusader Closet on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date with new arrivals and activity schedules.
This is Brian Anderson with Prairie Star Health Center. With more than 36 National Quality Awards and back-to-back National Quality Leader Awards, Prairie Star knows a thing or two about taking care of our patients. To learn more about Prairie Star's award-winning family medicine and each of our services, visit prairiestarhealth.org or schedule your appointment today by calling 620-663-8484. Because at Prairie Star, it's all about you.
Crusader football on HKFM.
They're down in 9. They're going to go for a Great Bend on a pass to the far side, intended for Spray, incomplete, and that brings up fourth down and rare time tonight. The Great Bend's going to have to punt the football away.
Yep, they've just got one punt, I believe, and it was just to close out the first half. So maybe we could get lucky with a bad snap here, but Buhler's going to get the ball back, plenty of time, and obviously the big goal right now, break the shutout. And that's something one of the reasons Coach Warner's teams have only been shut out twice in his entire tenure. You know, teams that don't give up don't get shut out, and so hopefully these guys can gin something together and get on the board.
It'll be Sharman to punt from his 45, taken at the 14, fair caught by Matt Eddy there. Buhler will take over on offense with 9:28 to play in the fourth. And see if they can get something going. Correct me if I'm wrong, homecoming next week? Is that here already?
I believe so.
I believe so. Buhler from their own 14. Well, nobody told me no, so we're going to go with it.
Yep, I just got confirmation.
Is the Winfield Vikings in Crusader Stadium, back home for the first time since the season opener next Friday night. 1st and 10, Buhler own 14-yard line. Jeff out of the gun. Wing back left here, and Patton with a left side run. Forward progress to the 15, picks up a yard on first down.
Gavin Patton.
I know, of course, next chance to see the Buhler High Marching Band halftime next week. And they've got a fantastic show this year. Talked to some kids this week that are working already on the, I think your kid is one of them, the musical that'll be coming up here before too long.
Yep.
2nd and 9, and a run up the middle. Handoff again to Gavin Patton. 22-yard line. You know, I will say this about what Coach Warner is doing. I like that he hasn't gotten pass happy here late in the game with the score lopsided. Like we talked about, just from play to play, let's continue to improve on the things that we do.
Yep, and so much of the run game is confidence, and so if Buhler can put together a nice drive here, that'll help give the guys a little bit of confidence going into next week's game at home against Winfield.
We're down to 2 of the clock running at the 22-yard line. Out of the I formation, 2 receivers near side. Here's Patton, big hole on the right side at the 30. Breaks out of a tackle and slung to the turf across the 35. Another good block by the right side of that offensive line this season. Just like a great block on the field. The pros at H&R Block provide the help you need and the biggest possible refund. Find the tax prep option for you at H&R Block, all the way down to the 37.
Yeah, the quick guard that time, Keaton Parsons, doing a great job on the kickout block.
Gain of 15, 1st and 10, back to the ground, and GP, and he's slung to the turf. After forward progress to the 39, he picks up 2 yards. Crusader football on HKFM, brought to you in part by Adams Brown Strategic Allies and CPAs, by Anita Cleaners, Holly's Sweet Treats, by Apex Shears, and by Alpha Land Surveys. 2nd and 8 here, buddy. Odd formation. Single receivers either side. Jeff fakes to his fullback. Left side run, gets across the 45. And forward progress to the 46-yard line. That's going to set up a 3rd down and 1.
Yep, that was a good carry there on 2nd down by Neal. And great bend now, starting to really load up the line of scrimmage. So the good news for that, if Buhler can get free, we could possibly break a big one here.
Bryce Ruiz was in on that last play at receiver. He'll be replaced by Austin Rogers. Rogers and Eddy to the far side of the I formation. 3rd down and 1. They're going to give it to Gavin Patton. Patton's got the first down. Head of steam across the 50, 45, and he loads up and rolls over a safety. Forward progress to the 42.
Yeah, Patton is a very physical runner that time. The safety for Great Bend really felt the blunt of that. Good hard run by Gavin, getting into Panther territory, and the Crusaders with some life here in this drive going on right now.
6:42 to go in the game. 1st and 10 at the 42. 31-0 Great Bend. I formation. Eddy near side. They'll pitch it to the right to Gavin. Patton at the 40. At the 35. Gets the edge at the 25 and shoved out of bounds near the 20. They're going to mark him out at the 16. Buhler finally with some life on offense.
The only unfortunate thing, though, Patton really shaken up. He's still on a knee, and he's a tough customer, so if he is shaken up, it had to be a pretty big shot.
That was a 20-yard gain that time by Gavin Patton.
I think that ties his season high and one of the Panthers got banged up on that play as well.
Yeah, it does. His long coming into the game was 20. So a timeout stoppage of play here, 6:27 to go. There's the Panther limping off on the far side. Pile Law timeout. It's 52, actually. It's on the Buhler sideline. That is Matthew Mader, one of their key linebackers. So it's actually an injury timeout there. So the ball sits at the 16-yard line. Boy, we've been waiting for this offense to gain some life, and here it is.
It's now a new tailback out there, Mitchell McDaniel.
1st and 10, McDaniel and Gentry in the eye behind Jeff Neal. Single receivers either side. McDaniel, first carry of the year. And it goes for maybe a yard. We're going to call it no gain. Welcome to the big leagues, young fella.
A little different than running against freshman squads, but we'll hope that Gavin's okay and his night isn't finished.
Final weekend of the Kansas State Fair coming up. You know, the big thing they have this weekend is the Pronto Pup Eating Contest.
Yes.
And we have in our ranks at Ad Astra a former champion of that contest.
Yes.
It is not me. 2nd and 10 at the 16. They'll pitch it. It is still McDaniel in there at tailback. And, boy, I got to tell you, McDaniel's still on his feet trying, nothing there. Talk about just sometimes if you didn't have bad luck, you wouldn't have luck at all. You've got all that momentum going. Gavin Patton banged up on the play, comes out, and it's like pops a balloon.
Yes, but now he's back out there, so good to see him back out there, and we'll see if he can get things going again.
All right, facing a 3rd down and 10, 2 runs for no gain at the 16, clock running to the 5:14 mark here in the 4th quarter. Out of the I formation. A fullback handoff. Gentry gets down to the 6-yard line, close to a 1st down.
Yeah, Braden Gentry looked like he was shot out of a cannon that time. Barrels his way forward, picks up the 1st down, and now Buhler with a 1st and goal from the 6-yard line.
All right, big fullback carry. Power play right up the middle with Braden Gentry for 10 yards.
All right, we got 4 cracks to try to break this shutout. Let's see if the Crusaders can get her done.
High formation from the right side. And Jeff on a counter play to the far side. Sprints to the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders.
Yeah, ran the belly option to the left that time. After Gentry's big run on the last play, the defense really sold out to stop him. Neal pulls it out of his belly, takes around the left end for the first score of the night, and the Crusaders avoid their first shutout in a decade.
First rushing touchdown of the season for Jeffrey. It comes to 4:42 left in the game. Now he'll come on for the extra point try. Buhler on an 11-play drive that started their own 14-yard line. And the kick is blocked. Great Bend Panther got back there quickly and blocked the kick. 31-6, 4:42 to go in the game. Crusader football from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
This is Dr. James Powell at Prairie Star Health Center. With so many great options to choose from in our optical department, we know you may have a hard time picking just one pair of glasses. That's why we at Prairie Star are offering a buy one, get one 30% off promotion now through October. Stop in and see our opticians today at the corner of 30th and K61, or give us a call to schedule your yearly eye exam at 620-802-0051, because at Prairie Star, it is all about you.
At Adams Brown, we go above and beyond to help our clients. Hi, this is Brett Henry. We'd love to show how our team can help your business. Stop by our Hutch location at 30th and Plum or check out AdamsBrownCPA.com. Adams Brown, strategic allies and CPAs, above and beyond.
Crusader football on HKFM.
Back here from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth, coverage of Crusader football in 2022, brought to you by Allstate agent Andrew Parr, by Midwest Iron and Metal, Red Rock Auto Center, by the Medicine Shop, and by Anninger Family Dental. Buhler after the 6-yard scamper by Jeff Neal. The extra point no good. And Buhler will kick off here from the 40. 31-6, Great Bend. 4:42 to go in the game.
So different kicker out there for Buhler.
That is 18, who I do not know who that is. See if Carson down on the sideline can find out who's wearing number 18 tonight. 4:42 left, and kicks it out of the end zone. So a touchback for the number 2 kicker. Great Bend is going to have it back at their own 20. Panthers looking to break a 19-game losing streak. November of 2019, last time they won a game. And of course, they played a very tough conference in the WAC against teams that, in most part, are quite a bit bigger than they are.
Yeah, a lot of 6As in the WAC. Basically, the only school smaller than Great Bend in their league is Hayes.
All right, 1st and 10. Here is a new tailback for the Panthers. Outside run left across the 25.
Yeah, hey, I got 18 for you. It's the freshman Jared Miller who came in to kick for that one.
Jared Miller wearing 18. And a new tailback for Great Bend is Jace Schartz, a sophomore. Carries across the 25 to the 26 and a gain of 6 yards on first down. 4:11 to go in the game.
And Great Bend now with their number 2s out there primarily on offense.
We've got a new quarterback in the game as well. On a 2nd down and 4. And a snap. They'll keep it on the ground with Schartz.
Yeah, Trace Millsap, the signal caller now for Great Bend in the second team offense.
Forward progress up to the 28.
Jace Henderson.
Brings up a 3rd down and 1.
And Will Haynen.
So the new Panther quarterback is Trey Millsap, a sophomore, 5'10", 155.
Whole new complement of linemen and receivers as well. Out there, Jacob Hall, one of the freshman slot backs. Memo Flores, one of the seniors out there.
They're down in 2 at the 28. Out of the gun. 2 receivers right, 1 left. Low snap taken. Schartz is going to get the first down across the 30 to the 31-yard line. That'll move the sticks to keep the clock at the control of the Panthers with 3:04 to go.
Nick Gasway now seeing some action again for Braden Gentry.
7 o'clock next Friday night for homecoming against the Vikes of Winfield. Like Circle last week, a team that's never beaten the Crusaders, the Winfield Vikings.
Hopefully you can keep that streak alive.
Beyond next Friday night, 6:25 with our Midway Motors drive to the game, 1st and 10 here. Monday night, our Crusader Coaches Show live from Taco John's in Hutchinson. Here is Schartz. He's going to be hit by a couple of Crusaders before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. On the far side line of scrimmage, the 31, and driven back to the 32 for a loss of 1. Will be on at 6:30 Monday night with Coach Warner and of course our player profile every Monday from Taco John's. Taco John's in Hutchinson. See what real value tastes like. The
Nick Gasway on that stop as well as Ryland Parks.
I'll let you in on a little secret. The street tacos are fantastic.
Can't go wrong with Taco John's.
2nd and 13 at the 28-yard line. 1:46 to play in the game, a quarterback draw. And Millsap across the 30. It's up to the 29 for a gain of 3. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and long for the Panthers. Oh, yeah. Potato Olays, my friend.
Oh, you're talking to a Taco John aficionado.
I could.
Back before Manhattan had a Taco John's, that was one of the few things Hutch had that Manhattan didn't.
Chris Schenk is a connoisseur of the late-night Mexican.
Precisely.
3rd and 10 at the 31.
Let's see if the Crusaders can get a stop here with the clock going to be below a minute with the snap. We're getting down to the dregs of the game.
Millsap out of the gun. 2 receivers near side, 1 to the far. This is the backup tailback across the 35. And Jay Schartz down shy of the first down stick at the 37. Interesting to see here if they punt or about 10 seconds difference between the game clock
they're
and
bringing,
the play clock.
They're bringing back their first team punt team, so they're going to kick it away to the Crusaders here with not much time left.
Back deep for Buhler. Mitchell McDaniel.
And Buhler Dental Care scoreboard update. Junction City has taken the lead over McPherson 23-12.
So they'll punt it away. McDaniel at the 29 will fair catch it. That'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the game. Well, I guess let's take away some little victories. Move the ball much better in the fourth quarter. You prevent the shutout.
Well, avoiding the shutout was really important tonight. That's a pretty important thing.
Any random act of kindness, club members, that are available after the game, please find Coach Duvall down on the field to help clean up.
Well, we've got cannons, or is that fireworks going off? I guess when you don't win in 19 games, you get to shoot off fireworks.
Yeah, we got fireworks, the light show, and then we want Bama chants going on.
All right. Hey, all is fair when you break a long skid.
Yep.
And Gentry on the carry, that'll do it. And Great Bend last won a football game on November 1st of 2019. Their last winning season was 2018. We talked about Coach Aaron Beck. He went 23-9 in his first 3 seasons here. He's been 5-23 since. And that win breaks a 19-game losing streak for the Great Bend Panthers. Unfortunately, the opposite end of the spectrum, Buhler is 0-3 for the first time since 2000. And that was the year that I moved to Hutch. That has been a long time ago.
That has been a long time ago.
22 years. And I know these kids will keep fighting. Coach Warner and his staff. When you think about just some of the outstanding personalities on the staff, Coach Coles, Coach Adkins, Coach Stein, all of them that love these kids and just keep fighting. And something else I would say too to the fans out there who, of course, a couple of home games coming up. Man, don't think, they're no good, I'm not going to come. The kids deserve better than that. So be sure and let's pack the stadium next Friday night. All right, 31-6 is the final. Our Crusader Locker Room show begins when we come back here on HKFM and the Crusader Sports Network.
As you depart the stadium, please use caution.
Crusader Locker Room Show. On the way, Aaron and Chris recap tonight's game. And we'll hear the post-game thoughts of head coach Steve Warner. Your home for the Buhler Crusaders is 95.9 HKFM.
Ever not turn on the light because it's just too bright, or wish you could switch lighting at home while you're gone so it appears someone is there? Sunflower Electric Supply has Caseta wireless dimmer kits with Smart Bridge that can take care of all that and more. Locally owned and operated since 1950 and now run by the 4th generation family. Shopping at Sunflower Electric Supply keeps more money circulating locally too. So call today. It's win-win-win with Sunflower Electric Supply in Hutchinson, Great Bend, or Liberal.
If you're getting ready to buy or sell land, start a building project, or have a property line in question, call Alpha Land Surveys. With over 30 years of experience, you can trust Alpha Land Surveys. Call 728-0012 or go to alphalandsurveys.com.
September is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. You no longer have to remember a 1-800 number when you're in crisis. 988 is the new suicide and crisis lifeline number for you or someone you know when having thoughts of suicide, a mental health crisis, or a substance use crisis. Help is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You're not alone. Reach out for help. Call or text 988 to talk to a crisis counselor. Rise up, Reno.
Have an appliance that doesn't work or a yard full of scrap metal and don't know what to do with it? Hi, this is Kathy from Midwest Iron, and you can save the environment and put a little money in your pocket by bringing it to us at 700 South Main. Call us at 620-662-0551. Midwest Iron, recycling for tomorrow's environment.
Crusader football on HKFM.
And back here on Crusader Locker Room Show, Crusader football this season. Brought to you in part by Eitzendar Block, by Ray and Sons Roofing, by the Sheila Metzger Agency, by Advanced Physical Therapy, and by Hutch Rec. As we wrap up a tough loss tonight. Well, they're never easy. I guess we've talked about that before. As coach, if the losses stop hurting, that's probably when it's time to go find a different job.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we've talked about before. Competitors are going to hate losing more than they enjoy winning. And, for Buhler, you got one of two ways you can go. 0-3 start. You can, give up, point fingers, start fighting, start thinking about the winter sports. Or, you can kind of circle the wagons, have a good week at practice, and try to come out next week against Winfield and get win number 1 of the season.
Chris and I were talking about, okay, where do you start first? What I don't know, kind of for me, the first thing that they've got to get cleaned up is the turnovers. Because, how many times is that now? 3 more tonight. And so 8, 9, 10, 11 times in 3 games in the season, you've taken the ball out of the offense's hands. And I think, number one, they've got to take care of the football.
Yeah, I mean, it starts from the very simple starting point. You have to be able to get snaps down, which is where our last turnover came from. So once that gets addressed, it's not something that is going to happen overnight. We're not going to get up into the positive in one night. Now, that being said, we've had 7 turnovers a night. We've done that, but that's not what we're shooting for. We got to shoot for stops on 3rd down, create turnovers that way, get the ball back in our offensive hands. And then I think you have to congratulate and uplift the guys who played their heart out all the time. Matthew Eddy struggled walking off the field tonight because he gave it his all. And that's very impressive to me. He's going to have to be one of those guys, along with others in the locker room, that say, hey, we're Buhler football. This name has a legacy, and we want to uphold that legacy, and we're going to work from now on to go 100% no matter what the situation is, and we're going to give it our best shot. And so that's something that they're gonna end up working toward as shooting a goal.
This guy sounds like a coach over here, doesn't he?
He's been through a few wars.
All right, we're going to get to Coach Warner set up here. Give me just a second to push all the right buttons. Nobody ever said that technology was... Technology and I, we kind of have an understanding, but we don't always get along very well. So, all right, I think we got it now. Let's hit that button and that button. And Coach, are you there?
Yes, I'm there.
You might have to teach me how to work this thing. I am struggling tonight, Coach. So, hey, as always, we appreciate your time, and I know tough talking to us in a loss tonight. I will say your kids didn't quit in the 4th quarter, and watch Matt Eddy just gassed walking off the field. I know there's a lot of heart in that kid. Braden Gentry's another one who I saw give it till he couldn't go no more. So we got some kids out there that are playing their guts out.
They are. They're definitely playing hard, and just hate it for them. We're making too many mistakes, and just aren't physical enough for sure.
Coach, at this point, is it, obviously in practice and week to week, still a lot of season left, but play to play, are you just trying to figure out, okay, each play, how can we get a little bit better?
Well, and to be honest, I felt like we were getting better in practice. We're doing things more fundamentally sound, and then we get to the game, and then we kind of lose some of our fundamentals, and that has to do with young kids. We're not a very big offensive line, and we're trying to do some things to get movement. We can't get movement, so creates issues for the offense, and then all of a sudden we'll run the ball well for a while, and then we had too many fumbled snaps tonight. I believe we had 3. Well, that kills 3 drives. And when the game's on the line and we need to get 3 or 4 yards, we can't fumble snaps.
Yeah, of course, a couple of huge pass plays by Great Bend tonight, and we're not going to harp on the secondary as all. Again, I know those guys are trying their guts out, but young kids still trying to figure out how to play the game, and at some point we're going to have to get past that, but it seems like where we're at right now.
We're taking our lumps right now by giving up a lot of big plays. We've given up a lot of big plays every game, and it continues. And then when the offense doesn't perform well, then we have an issue.
Well, Coach, we appreciate you. It'll be good to get back home next week, and no matter who the opponent is, but I know your kids will go back to work, and they'll get better in practice this week.
We're going to watch film. We're going to try to improve on everything that we're doing.
And I hear it might be cooler next week, too, so we're going to hold out hope for that as well.
Not in the middle of the week.
No.
We may be the worst we had
I think
on Tuesday, but
I think by game
figure
day.
out a plan.
Yeah, I think by game day. So
Yes.
All right, Coach.
It'll be nice.
Yeah, we appreciate you. Have a safe trip home. We'll talk to you Monday.
Thank you.
All right, that is Coach Steve Warner, and I just always, appreciate his time. Always feel like if I'm on the losing end, the last thing I want to do is call in and talk about it. But not much to sugarcoat there. So kind of is what it is.
No doubt. So, but like you said, appreciate him talking after the game. There's some coaches that after a win, man, they'll talk your ear off, but then after a loss, they just disappear. And so, it says a lot about his character, still talking to us this evening. But you could hear the frustration, disappointment. It's one of those things. Nobody's happy, but, the key thing is pointing blame and fingers. You didn't hear Coach doing that, and that's the sign. Successful coaches don't come after the game and throw people under the bus, and that's exactly what Coach Warner did. They know they got to work on things and try to just get better a little bit one day at a time.
Well, and the one thing, I was talking about this coaching staff a little bit earlier. Of course, Coach Warner and Coach Coles, some of the guys that have been here a long time, they've seen a lot of football. They've been through all of it. They've been through the wars before, and they know how to come out the other side.
Something, and I was thinking about this all this week, something I remember from Coach Zion saying it to when I was a player at Buhler back before the turn of the century, Carson. Coach Zion talking about you are going to have way worse things happen to you in life than losing football games. And that's something I've always thought about, and it's true. I mean, the whole reason we play these sports, in my opinion, is to learn how to deal with success and learn how to deal with failure, because everybody's football playing days come to an end, but you got to live life. And that's something that, I get goosebumps talking about it. I remember Coach Zion giving that speech, and that's something that I still take to heart as a 40-something-year-old adult. So, that's got to be the key thing these guys take away from, there's going to be ups in life, there's going to be downs in life. It's all about how you react to it. And if you let those downs just keep you down, or if you get up the next day and come right at it.
I'd love to see pictures. I wonder how much hair Coach Zion had when he was head coach. That's from a day or two ago.
It has been.
I love those guys. Love the kids, and I just two guys that I talked about there. You mentioned Eddie Gentry was another one for me tonight. Probably my player of the game, just for the effort that he gave.
Yeah, I thought our linebackers played well. You started to see second half how Great Bend began game planning, trying to find out where Eddie was going and make him get out of the way, whether that was him over on their number one receiver or sending a back out. They tried to get him out of the equation, which forced Braden Gentry to step up, and he stepped up well. You saw he cramped. Cramp is when your muscles don't have any water left because you've been working them so hard. So those guys definitely gave it all they had tonight.
Something I did like from the first half is just talk about Matt in different ways. Teams are going to try and take those big pass plays away. He's also a pretty good runner, finding different ways to get the ball in his hands.
Yeah.
So.
You look at the second or third play of the game where we ran him in at quarterback. You have three quarterbacks out there on the field with Skripsik running that other tight end. So you never know as a D coordinator on the other side, where's the ball going, who's going to throw this. So he is an all-around five-tool type player. He can do it all: throw, catch, pass. He blocked he had the block on the touchdown that Jeffrey had. It's amazing to see what he can do at different positions on the field.
I'm sure Coach Shank had a lot of sleepless nights trying to figure out creative ways to use your guys and hey, what are some things that we can throw at them that maybe they haven't seen before? So
yeah, because every team you have X amount of bullets, and it's all about piecing people together and trying to put the team in the best position to be successful. And yeah, I mean, there isn't going to be anybody that's going to work harder than this coaching staff and these players to try to get win number 1 next week against Winfield.
All right, we'll come back. Final stats, get you our play and player of the game, and wrap up our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard. Crusader football. This is the Crusader Locker Room Show on HKFM.
More of the Crusader Locker Room Show is next. Stay tuned as we name tonight's play and player of the game. Stream Crusader football on your phone or tablet with the Ad Astra radio app. 95.9 HKFM.
Hi, this is Buhler head football coach Steve Warner. If you'd like to stay connected with what's going on within our program, I'd like to invite you to sign up for the Buhler Football Weekly Roundtable. It's a newsletter emailed weekly to Buhler High School football supporters. To sign up for the Football Weekly Roundtable, just send an email to crusadersrt@gmail.com. That's crusadersrt@gmail.com.
Hi, this is James with IdeaTech. We love bringing internet freedom to the residents and businesses of Buhler. IdeaTech is a proud supporter and the preferred internet provider of the Buhler Crusaders. As the Crusaders know, speed wins. We back up our lightning-fast internet with a customer-first philosophy. That means you will talk to a live person from our office in Buhler when you call in. If you're not already a customer, go to ideatech.com and click on Check Availability. Or you can call us at 620-543-5000 to inquire more about our services.
Rods Tire and Service.
Rise and shine. It's daylight time and time to go to your happy place. With kids back in school, that means fall flavors are returning to your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts. Bear claws, pine cones, pumpkin and apple spice cake donuts, and of course, all your favorite standards made fresh from scratch each morning. Order online and have them ready to pick up by going to HutchinsonDaylightDonuts.com. At 3rd and Main and 1435 East 30th, we're your Hutchinson Daylight Donuts.
At Fee Insurance Group, we've been working side by side with our clients for more than a century, helping them prepare for the unexpected and supporting the teams, schools, and communities we all care about. Fee Insurance, forward together.
Crusader football on HKFM.
All right, back here in a tough loss for the Maroon Crew tonight, 31-6. And Christopher, why don't you go over some final numbers for us?
Okay, so total offense tonight, Great Bend with the advantage here, no surprise. 438 yards of total offense for Great Bend compared to Buhler's 263. Great Bend and Buhler ran nearly the same amount of plays, but Great Bend averaged 8.4 yards per play compared to Buhler's 4.9. Getting into some of the individual statistics, we'll get into the passing game for Great Bend, and tonight, big night for Caden Sharman. He goes 11 of 20 for 223 yards and 3 touchdowns. Jeffrey Neal tonight goes 6 of 16 for 71 yards and 2 INTs. Individual rushing yards tonight, Gavin Patton, the leading rusher of the game. He has 18 carries for 133 yards. Matthew Eddy next with 5 carries for 32. Braden Gentry, 4 carries for 20. Jeff Neal, 9 carries for 7. And Mitchell McDaniel, 2 carries for 0 yards. Rushing for Great Bend tonight, Cody Miller, the leading rusher tonight for the Panthers, 15 carries for 125 yards and a touchdown. Sharman has 10 carries for 73 yards, and then some of the reserves picked up about 20 yards as well. Receiving tonight for Buhler, Braden Gentry, leading receiver, 2 catches for 37 yards. Matt Eddy, 4 catches for 34 yards. And for Great Bend, their leading receiver tonight is Braylon Council. He has 4 catches for 142 yards and a touchdown. Also tonight with a good night, Maddox Spray, 3 catches for 49 yards and a touchdown. And then a couple other receivers with about 30 yards combined between all of them. And the only other statistic to really jump out You mentioned it. Aaron Buhler's been good on fourth down this year. They go 1 of 2 on fourth down conversions tonight, so that's been a stat in Buhler's favor. But the biggest stat, though, turnovers tonight, Buhler with 4, Great Bend with none.
All right, our Dick's Phillip 66 Phillip of the game, our big stat of the game. Phillip on top-tier gasoline, snacks, and more. Had Dick's Phillip 66, 4th and Stevens in Hutch. Every journey begins with a stop at Dick's Phillip 66. I really look at, I look at Buhler's yardage, and 4.9 yards isn't bad. I mean, that'll get you a first down every 3 plays. But then you look at Great Bend, 8.4.
Yeah,
that's just crazy.
In the first half, they almost were averaging 11 yards a play, and so Buhler did a little bit better in the second half. But if your opponent's getting a first down pretty much every single play, that's not a good recipe for success.
But I feel like that the same thing that we've been talking about with the turnovers every week, even when Buhler is moving the ball successfully, seems like either a turnover, a penalty of some kind sets them back, and they're not able to overcome that.
Yeah, it's self-causation. They're the ones who shoot themselves in the foot. And I think that these coaches have, like we talked about, seen a lot of football, and they know how to deal with that. And it's a process. This is, like we said, this turnover isn't going to happen overnight. We're not going to get into the positive next week against Winfield. So it's something that is going to be a progression. It's going to start getting the ball rolling. It's like goal setting. You got to set short-term goals. And to get the ball rolling, and that'll ball up, and it'll be big time. So make it through a drive, get in the end zone, then do it again and again, and all of a sudden you're thinking, okay, here we go, and you're feeling confident about yourself, and that translates to all aspects of the game.
All right, let's get to our player of the game tonight's Rise Up Reno Rising Star. Rise Up Reno Prevention Network, working to strengthen families and promote healthy behaviors. Rise Up Reno, and I really appreciated the effort of Braden Gentry tonight, both at fullback. He had a couple of big catches, had a couple of big runs, and then stayed in there even, you could tell he was hurting. So you need upperclassmen like that leading the way. Okay, boys, this is how we do it. So my pick for, you guys want to argue that, but my pick for player of the game. All right, they're shaking their heads no, so I win this one. We'll come back, wrap up our broadcast and final scores right after this from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth on HKFM.
Hi, this is Jen Stallman with the Buhler Booster Club. Booster Club supports all student activities and athletics. Please consider membership in our Booster Club to help support all students at Buhler High School. Follow the Buhler Booster Club and the Buhler Crusader Closet on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date. Thanks for the continued support of our generous donors.
As your American Family Insurance agent in Hutchinson, I'm looking out for what matters to you, even when nothing's wrong. This is Sheila Metzger, agent at the Sheila Metzger Agency. Call me at 665-0400 and let's talk about your insurance needs today.
American Family Insurance.
Neufeld Flooring, proud supporter of Buhler High School activities. We are your experts for all your floor covering needs. Please make an appointment to visit us at 110 West 2nd, downtown Buhler, or give us a call at 620-543-2274. Go Crusaders!
Are you building a house?
A swimming pool?
Are your lights flickering?
Call Schmidt Electric.
That's Schmidt Electric. 620-960-6755. Schmidt Electric will take care of all your electrical needs.
Got Spock?
If you're looking for a late starting college class, Hutchinson Community College may have what you need. It's not too late to get enrolled. We have classes starting throughout the semester. Call 620-665-3535 or email myfuture@hutchcc.edu today.
You already know H&R Block does taxes, but you may not know you can get expert help in person or virtually, or that our tax pros average 10 years of experience. You can even request the same tax pro every year, and your biggest possible refund is always guaranteed. At H&R Block, help is here. All tax situations are different. Not everyone gets a refund. Limitations apply. See hrblock.com/guarantees.
Stop by H&R Block in Lyons, Ellsworth, or Hutch today.
Holly here, and I invite you to come down to Holly's Sweet Treats at 205 South Main in Hutchinson to check out our cookies, desserts, fresh baked bread, and custom cakes. We also offer delicious lunches every day and fun last-minute gifts in our shop. Come on down or call us at 888-YUM.
Crusader football on HKFM.
All right, back to wrap up the broadcast as we'll run through our Buhler Dental Care scoreboard one final time. tonight. And let's see here. Let me do a little refreshing. We can tell you that Hutch won tonight homecoming for the Salthawks at Gowans. And they won 35-21 over Mays South. Wamego blanks Concordia 46-0. Mays 49, Newton nothing. Elsewhere, Clearwater in 4A beats Rose Hill tonight to 34-10. Independent over Mound Ridge 26-18. Inman puts 54 on Remington, wins 54-14. Heston over Hillsboro 28-18. Junction City was leading at the end of the third over Mac 16-12. You got an updated score on that?
Yep, an update with 1:40 remaining in the game. Junction now on top 30-15.
Oh, wow, they've really pulled away. Fort Scott beat Independence tonight 21-20. Trinity Catholic 3-0 over Marion 21-8. Hoisington beats Lions 56-6. The final score there. Last score we had, Garden City 49, Wichita West nothing. That was in the fourth. Canton Galva beats Solomon tonight 58-6. Fourth quarter, Pratt over Halstead 40-0. Goddard and Andover were tied at 7. And those are some of the other scores I have. Christopher, anything else tonight from the network?
Yes, we'll go down the network scores here real quick as I write this last one on the board. So you mentioned on KSKU, Hoisington beat Lions 56-6. On Mix 96.7 tonight, Smoky Valley gets a big win over Larned 46-12. Last score we have over from KMCP was Junction over Mac, like you said, 30-15. Trinity Catholic beat Marion tonight on Kansas Rocks 21-8. You had the Heston Hillsboro 28-18, Heston over Hillsboro on Kicks Country 106. And on the AdAsh Radio app, Wichita Independent picks up the win at Mound Ridge 26-18. And the last score we have from Sterling and Sedgwick was all tied up at 20 apiece. And I believe that was at the end of 3. So that game somewhere in the fourth quarter or final. Or here we go. Sterling now with the lead over Sedgwick, 26-20 with 56 seconds remaining. So the Black Bears trying to pick up the win tonight.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for our broadcast tonight. Homecoming next Friday against the Winfield Vikings. Monty Lewis will bring his Vikes to Crusader Stadium for a 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll be out at 6:25. With the Midway Motors drive to the game, we'll have homecoming festivities for you Friday night at halftime. Reminder to join Coach Buhler and myself Monday night, 6:30, Taco John's in Hutch for our Crusader Coaches Show. And get out and support our Crusaders next week. A lot of our sports teams doing very well and getting into the latter half of their schedules. I know soccer is home next Tuesday night, so check out those guys. Volleyball home next week, and of course cross country. They were just home this last week. Golf and tennis as well. A lot of success and good luck next week to all those guys. Thanks, fellas. Have a good weekend. Going to the State Fair, watching some football, whatever you're doing this weekend. Make sure and put on your crimson and blue and rock chalk, buddy.
I was nodding along with everything you were saying, Aaron, until
I said crimson. Carson was okay at crimson. It was just the blue that got him.
Yeah, I think we're more crimson and cream.
Yeah, you and half my family. So
hey, they know what's up. Boomer Sooner all the way.
Oh man. This broadcast officially has gone off the rails. Fellas, thanks and have a good weekend. Good luck to whoever you're rooting for. And thanks also to our video crew. Tonight, Aaron West for Carson Waller, Chris Schenk. You've been listening to Crusader Football from the Allen Samuels broadcast booth here on HKFM.